I'll praise you, Most High. Yeah, that sound good, y'all. Hello. What we doing?
Hey, cook that up, Khalid.
We still getting to the money, got these haters in they feel. Lil' homie, let them chill. Most I told me, finches hit my enemies, my footstools. We ain't got no beef for real. Just here, this how we live. Look here, homie, we still getting to the money, got these haters in they feel. Lil' homie, let them chill. Most I told me, finches hit my enemies, my footstools. We ain't got no beef for real. Just here, this how we live. Look here, homie, be still. They said you got the call, they tryna blackball you. Play what they own, bro. You can't blackball a boss. The whole world, they hate this right here. The way you hate your neighbor, might as well pull the trigger on yourself. You know we get excited by the smoke. Every day we catching flesh. Save my treasure stored in heaven, we gon' blow the rest. They disrespecting and we check. The bank that causing kept it still. They asking others about my business, but I ain't got no instant messy. I still deal with ox direct. Cause your person don't mean you respect. Your outlet don't get no credit if the ox ain't in it. Money answer all things and you got all these questions. Playing Vic. Look, I employ slavery. If you broke, just say it. Yeah, them crews in the hood, Jews in the hood. I caught them clues, now I'm good. I broke it down, he understood my all to you. Filtered through, you found a few, I'm good. We what we sold, this here exclusive. They like, hey, folk, look what you doing. We still getting to the money, got these haters in they feel. Lil' homie, let them chill. Most I told me, finches hit my enemies, my footstools. We ain't got no beef for real. Just here, this how we live. Look here, homie, we still getting to the money, got these haters in they feel. Lil' homie, let them chill. Most I told me, finches hit my enemies, my footstools. We ain't got no beef for real. Just here, this how we live. Look here, homie, be still. Most I told me, be still, give her room to work. Know my movie work. Your faith ain't good, don't put the work in. In the spirit flexing, that my day job. Getting the mode out my own, I don't know what they are. Before I got the blueprint, and I'm too legit to quit. Let it spark in the dark, be a light, got it lit. Tryna map my movement, got my haters pondering. The odds set the question there, they wanna know if you still lit. It hit different, you authentic, a lot of odds pretending. We do it for the Lord, got my own motion, who are you to judge? Look most high first, none above. In the spirit we locked in, they'll come against your plot. You know Judas said, yeah, we spit them scripts, they bailing out. Came on slave ships, then you not black. You know they tell you everything. Isaiah 30:20, yeah, we bad. You see what happened when they tried to rail the train up off the track. False witness, hypocrite. We throw shots back, now they feel heat. Must go get it. We still getting to the money, got these haters in they feel. Lil' homie, let them chill. Most I told me, finches hit my enemies, my footstools. We ain't got no beef for real. Just here, this how we live. Look here, homie, we still getting to the money, got these haters in they feel. Lil' homie, let them chill. Most I told me, finches hit my enemies, my footstools. We ain't got no beef for real. Just here, this how we live. Look here, homie, be still.
Well, all right. Once again, putting it down for you and yours. This is another episode of The Lion's Den. And this is the installment we call The Conversation Continues. And we welcome you all. First, and we give an honor to the Lord in Christ, from whom all positive thoughts flow. And we're your host. You got Yeshaya Dah, JT Raw, and myself, Big Baby Hebrew Brother Malachiah. And of course, we give honor to the lioness and the hostess who maintains order in this great social media platform, Sister Karima. But of course, above all, we give honor to the Lord in Christ, from whom all positive thoughts flow. And while you are here in the Lion's Den, you will be inundated and overwhelmed with the 7 eyes that we always bring. And that's intelligence, integrity, inspiration, influence, independence, insight, and information. And also, when you roll with the lions, you're rolling with the pride. And that's PRIDE, because we'll always permanently permanently, I'm getting tongue tied, permanently ready and destroying evil. And of course, you know we're anti-coon. And what's a coon? That's a complete, obvious, obedient, yes, a boss ninja. We don't do the coon thing, but also be advised that here in the Lion's Den, on the conversation continues, we also do point counterpoint, wherein we don't always agree with each other. And so we do point counterpoint. There's no right or wrong. We just simply do a different point of view and leave it up to you, the viewer and listener of this social media platform experience, to make your decision on who you're going to vibe, click, and politic with. Also, when you come into the Lion's Den, you come into the house of facts. Here, you're going to get FACTS with that's an apostrophe TS, because we bring the facts, and that's frequently accurate, correct truths. But now, of course, Yeshaya and I, we're very sensitive and we're very compassionate. So, if you're truth phobia, if you're fact phobia, or if you suffer from reality phobia, we here extend our deepest sympathies to you, because you are going to get your feelings hurt respectfully and unapologetically. So if you can't handle the truth, if you can't handle facts, if you can't handle reality as we bring it here, then you need to leave. Because last but not least, when you come into the Lion's Den, you're rolling with rebels. That's REBELS, righteous, enlightened believers, exalting life-giving scriptures. So without further ado, Captain Yeshaya, we've been given clearance by Sister Karima in the control tower that she has a runway and we're clear. So take off, my brother, and what's on your mind?
Uh, First things first, Captain ain't doing it for me. You got to call me Supreme General Yeshaya. Nah, you ain't got to call me that. I ain't looking for no title. But we here to bring forth some truth to the masses of the people that really know that really need to know what is going on in the world. Open discussion. We can talk about everything and anything that's dealing with truth and facts. Something to bring the conscious mind to life. That's what this program is all about. Now, I threw and passed on a video to Karima. I heard it last night. I didn't believe what I heard. That Donald Trump is about, or maybe want to pass a law when he gets in, of extenuating money to white people in this country because he felt or feels that they have suffered enough pain and racial injustice. They deserve some sort of compensation, retribution, restitution, reparations, or something. And he ain't even in office yet, and the madness is already started. Not with this, just with everything we're dealing with every day in this evil, sinister world. See, a lot of our people, we don't really look at the news. I look at international. I don't even give a damn about what's happening over here. I'm looking at what's going on in the world. As you can see, Spain is getting drowned out by the Almighty. And another thing I seen on the news that happened to Spain, two of them, they just suffered a tornado in Valencia, Spain. No, I think it was Malaga, Spain. Yeah, a tornado. I saw it on the news. And guess what? The Most High was raining hail stones coming from the heavens, hitting Malaga, Spain. So what we're seeing now on this earth is a lot of prophetic things coming through the scriptures. And it's really going down, it's really happening, and we need to be aware of what's happening. Without further ado, I want Karima to play this video from some YouTubers named Deborah and the Watchmen. So play the video, Karima, please. Thank you.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. So in this video, we are going to be talking about restitution versus reparations. See, there are those who don't understand the definition of these words because they are opposing the whole idea or the thought behind restitution and reparations being very, very similar. Because Republicans, or should I say more specifically, you have Donald Trump, who is saying that he would like to give restitution to people who he feels have been discriminated against in the educational system. Now, if you look at many of his rallies or his interviews, he spoke about not wanting critical race theory in the schools. He spoke about DEI hires. He's vowing to get rid of anyone who he believes is a DEI hire, right? DEI is very closely related to affirmative action. In other words, he don't believe that some of the people who hold positions that have gotten them should have them. And you know that they largely look at so-called Black people as DEI hires. As a matter of fact, there were a lot of jokes and tauntings put out there saying that various individuals who have high positions in politics, a lot of white folk are claiming that they were simply DEI hires and that they got the jobs unfairly and unjustly. And this has been one of the talking points of Donald Trump as well, saying that he wants to get rid of DEI. He wants to give restitution to anyone who has been subjected to DEI training, okay, because he believes that somehow it's injustice to them. So anyway, just to bring you up back upon the fact that Donald Trump did say this, I'm going to share a short clip with you, and then I'm going to share with you also that restitution and reparations are very, very similar in meaning. So it doesn't matter whether he said restitution or reparations. This is something that he is promising to so-called white people, whether people want to accept this or not. Take a listen, and I will be right back.
Watch.
Getting their money's worth. Furthermore, I will direct the Department of Justice to pursue federal civil rights cases against schools that continue to engage in racial discrimination and schools that persist in explicit, unlawful discrimination under the guise of equity will not only have their endowments taxed, but through budget reconciliation, I will advance a measure to have them fined up to the entire amount of their endowment. A portion of the seized funds will then be used as restitution for victims of these illegal and unjust policies that hurt our country so badly. Colleges have gotten hundreds of billions of dollars from hardworking taxpayers, and now we are going to get this anti-American insanity out of our institutions once and for all. We are going to have real education in America. Thank you.
What is that, Tim?
Well, on the one hand, right, it just demonstrates the sort of upside down world of the MAGA right wing in a nation that never compensated the victims of white racism, enslavement, segregation for their injuries. And in fact, not only did we not do that, The only reparations we did pay with relation to racism in this country with regard to black folks was actually paid to former enslavers when the DC Emancipation Law was passed and compensated slave owners for the loss of their human property, not those who were enslaved, but those who had held them in bondage. These are the, that's the only reparations we really paid vis-a-vis white-black relations. And now these folks in MAGA world are suggesting we should compensate the white so-called victims of basically diversity and equity trainings, I gather. Now, on the one hand, that shows you the upside down thinking. On the other hand, let's be clear, this is not new thinking. This is reverting to type. It is history repeating itself. This idea that reverse discrimination against white people is the discrimination problem that has been around since the literal immediate end of the Civil War, when President Johnson vetoed the Civil Rights Act of 1866. And when he did that, his explanation was that that Civil Rights Act had gone too far in providing preferential treatment to black folks, right? Preferential treatment to black folks. And all that law did was seek to end discrimination and produce some measure of equal opportunity for black people. And to Johnson, that was too much. So the reverse discrimination arguments that Trump makes, that Stephen Miller makes, those are literally Civil War era arguments. They were made in 1883 when Justice Bradley on the Supreme Court helped to invalidate certain post-emancipation civil rights laws. He wrote in his opinion that year that black folks had been favored enough by the laws. They'd been the special favorite of the laws just because we were trying to end the history of discrimination against them, and therefore they should take the rank of quote unquote mere citizens, forgetting they had not even been citizens at all until a few years before that. And so this is part of a historical amnesia, a historical deliberate forgetting that white folks engage in, where all the injuries done to black folks are swept under the rug, but the so-called injury of like a 3-hour diversity training is supposedly something for which white people require compensation. It's just fascinating. It would be funny if it weren't so incredibly dangerous.
Okay. So first of all, I'd like to say this, that you have a lot of people whining about whether or not reparations and restitution are the same, because Donald Trump is promising restitution to people who he believes some type of injustice has been done towards. So they're like, well, he never said that about reparations, because a lot of people are using reparations in addressing Donald Trump's statements. They're using the term reparations instead of restitution. So this is why I wanted to show you that you're literally talking about the same thing. You're literally talking about the same thing. So when people come in defense of Donald Trump, they want to try to make it seem as though he's some people call it sane washing, or they want to try to gloss over the truth or gaslight you for pointing out the facts that he is literally talking about financial compensation, whatever you want to call it, reparations, restitution, compensation, reconciliation. They want to try to make it seem like he's talking about something different, but he said it with his own mouth. You heard it, but you want to try to clean it up. Okay, so what I want to do first is I want to show you first that restitution is literally right there with reparations and recompense. Okay, is literally right there. As a matter of fact, reparations is a synonym. Look at that. It is a synonym for restitution. You see this where it says similar right here? Compensation, recompense, reparation, damages, indemnification. Reparation is literally a synonym for it. Now, what is a synonym? A synonym is a word or phrase that means exactly or nearly the same as another word or phrase in the same language. For example, shut is a synonym for close. So it's really a shame that I have to do this, but I'm doing it because people are literally trying to say that Donald Trump is being lied on, that he's not promising reparations to white people. Now, he didn't say white people with his words, but it is typically white people who have to get DEI training for discrimination. Okay? It is typically them. They have been the ones who have been against affirmative action because they believe that it gives Black people an unfair advantage, even though they typically represent 90% or more of any institution where they have even tried to put affirmative action into place, because they were already maxing out white people that were getting the benefits of these educational systems or these jobs or whatever. And so affirmative action was put in place to say, look, let somebody else have a shot too, because you all are representing 90% or more, in some cases 95% or 98% of the total population. And we're saying, look, just give at least 1%, 5%, 10% to somebody else. And they try to say that it's based on merit, but they don't even take into consideration the legacy admissions. Legacy admissions meaning someone didn't get in on their own merits, but they got in because their white dad or mom or grandpa or grandma or even uncles and aunts have gotten in, right? So they don't have any problem with legacy admissions, but they have an issue with affirmative action. And so basically what Donald Trump is doing, he's saying, look, if you have been subjected to such things as DEI, then you are entitled to restitution. And as I have showed you, there is very little difference in restitution and reparations. Very little difference. Restitution is restoring what some believe has been lost or taken away. Reparations is restoring to a good condition something that has been done to you. You've been damaged from it. So restitution and reparations has the same root. Restoration is the root for both reparations and restitution. Okay? Restoration is what it boils down to, which means compensation. They both mean compensation for something that has been done wrongly to another person. That is what they both mean. And so for those of you who are still trying to defend everything Donald Trump and upset that people are pointing out that he has such strong convictions about giving restitution or reparations to white people who have had to be subjected to DEI training, I'm here to shed light on the fact that there is no difference at all. He doesn't put this much energy into talking about giving restitution to Black people who have been subjected to this educational system that has miseducated the whole world, giving alternative versions of history. Where is the restitution for that? Where's the restitution or the reparations to our people for what we have been subjected to in this country? See, those things Donald Trump don't want to talk about, though, but he does want to talk about restitution and reparations for his own people. Deal with it. The truth is what it is. I'm done. I want you all to share what your thoughts are on this topic in the comment section below. You all know that on this channel, we believe that the Bible tells us these things were going to be so. And we are seeing the manifestation of that. We are literally seeing the manifestation of it. So it is what it is. I feel like biblical prophecy is constantly happening. So anyway, share your thoughts in the comment section below. As always, keep it tight and keep it right. But until the next live or the next video, stay prayed up. We hope you like today's topic. Please leave your comments below. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. Share
All right, and we're back. So Yashad, what's your take on this video? And let's go to work.
It speaks for itself. She read what restitution means. So it speaks for itself. I want to answer one question. I can't look at my lifetime being in America, my parents, grandparents, where these people have suffered anything under us, that they deserve restitution, which is really reparations. I mean, you gonna receive reparations or restitutions for the crimes of your forefathers they committed against mine? Y'all crying about that? I mean, are you goddamn kidding me? This is why we keep coming back and forth telling our people and other nations this kingdom here is doomed. Y'all are doomed, man. If you really believe in your heart that the Almighty Creator is going to let you get away with this and do this and give your people a compensation for something they never suffered, you sadly mistaken. We ain't got no time to jive, talk no more, BS around. We living in serious times where it's time to wake up, really wake up, and see what the hell is going on the earth. Because something is happening, taking place every time we go to bed, every time we wake up. Something biblical is happening. It was a joke that Richard Pryor said back in the 70s. White folks got new ends. I ain't gonna say the word. New ends. They call it the Vietnamese. That's a joke. But white people got a new Jesus. It's called Donald Trump. He's your savior. That's what a lot of you white folks in America believe. Donald Trump gonna turn the clock back, make America great again. When the hell was America ever great? I mean, for a man that looked like me, a woman in America that looked like us, anybody on this panel right now, when was America great? For us. If America was great, the people that was at the bottom made America influential, not the people that ruled America that make America influential. It was the people who you considered beneath you that made America influential. Do you know that our people created a global phenomenon called hip hop that spread it throughout the globe, and every nation on this earth got their form of rappers? That didn't come out of white people in this country. That came out black people. Anything that make America cool come from us. Music, style, pizzazz, all that. When did y'all make America great? What the hell is Donald Trump talking about? See, he gassing y'all up. But the Lord is the one that's going to light the match and start the fire. Y'all dig it? If this is what we heard on that video is true, this is a goddamn shame. We shouldn't have to beg these people for nothing. You know you owe. You compensated the Japs for World War II. They gave $20,000 per fam for the incarceration of Japanese Americans. Japanese Americans didn't build this country off of their sweat. But they always, when it comes to you, is an excuse to give our people something. Drugs being imported in America ain't coming from us. We ain't bringing them here. You're letting it come in here. And you know where it's going. Know where the drugs are going. Ronald Reagan, back in the 80s, used the CIA to bring drugs into the state in America and predominantly put them in black neighborhoods. But y'all think we stupid? We don't know this? Abortion clinics was put in our communities for black women to abort their children. America, y'all don't know what the hell is really coming your way, but I'll tell you, you ain't gonna like it. It's gonna be many of you crying the blues because you're gonna know your time is up. See, Donald Trump, and I'm gonna let all of y'all Donald Trump lovers know something. That man can go to bed tonight and don't wake up. What y'all gonna say then? That man can lay his damn head on the pillow of his bed tonight and gone. You don't have to wake up. Gassing y'all up, man. He ain't gonna never bring America back. That's a bald-faced lie. Because his ass is on borrowed time, just like this evil-ass society is as well. See, the Lord need to bring the plagues that he brung to Egypt to America. Maybe that might scare the hell out of y'all, which I hope he do. Because he already starting somewhere else. He just ain't brung it here yet. Do y'all know that hailstones that was turning into fire was raining down from heaven in Spain? But the only reason why it didn't turn into fire because it was mixed with water. They getting flooded out over there in Spain. And here we are, we arguing and bickering about the dumbest damn things in the world and prophecy leaping off the pages, and we worrying about stupid things. America, you finish. I can almost guarantee your kingdom is done. And your fake Messiah, he can sell you the BS all he wants. He ain't gonna change nothing. And he ain't gonna bring you back to the old days. He can promise you all he wants. He ain't gonna bring you back to nothing. He lying to you. And all your politicians, they lying to you. America is not going to recover. America is not going to go back unto the America you once knew before, under your great, 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 great grandparents. America's not going backwards. Everything is going forward. Life is going forward. Nothing can go back. You understand? So the dream he want to sell y'all, it's all a pipe dream. He don't got the power to change nothing. Y'all don't got no reason to cry for nothing in America. Opportunities you losing. What opportunities y'all lost? Y'all lost your white card? Your white privilege card in America? I don't see no white man got to worry about a white. What?
You hit the nail right on.
Let me fit my point. One more. I ain't seen a white man or white woman in America got to be worrying about being racially profiled in America. I ain't seen it yet. I don't see nothing. Okay? Y'all are still on top. And I'm going to say one more thing. If there is white men and women in America that's poor as hell, you know, some of you Appalachian people, whatever, down in the South, that ain't my fault you in that position. That's your rich white brothers and your white sisters that got the power that don't give a damn about your ass. That's it right there. It ain't got nothing to do with me. I ain't put you in that position that you're in. The elites don't give a goddamn about nobody but they damn self. They only care about them living sweet, the life. That's your white counterparts. They don't give a damn about you poor white trash ass crackers. And that's a fact. Donald Trump don't give a goddamn about none of you poor white men and white women in America. He only give a damn about the rich because he's rich. He got money. He got billions. Damn, think he give a damn about some poor ass white man that ain't got no money in this country? Ain't got no power? Y'all out your mind? Getting gassed up, bro. Wake up. America ain't gonna make it. America's on life support. Once the Lord pull that plug, bye-bye. See you later. It's over. And that's coming.
All right. Before I get started, though, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna I see we have multi-generational mulatto on deck. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna pass it off to him. We're having an open discussion, and right now we're talking about this whole supposed reparations for white people that Donald Trump is supposed to be giving only to white people. I say supposed because I have a counterpoint and counter argument. And Sister Kramer, I sent a video to you that I want you to play if it's possible, and we're gonna break this thing down piece by piece. But in the meantime, in between time, multi-generational mulatto welcome, and as a conversation continues, what's on your mind?
Peace,
And let me
family.
say quick point. What is most of your DNA makeup? I want to get to that first, because this multi-generational mulatto, this is some confusing stuff, man.
Actually,
What
it's
is
not
your father
confusing at
and your
all.
mama?
Well, I'm trying to answer that, brother.
Go ahead, answer.
Both of my parents are mulattoes, brother.
What do they look like?
Mulattoes, brother.
What do they look like?
I just answered you. Your first
No, you
question
didn't
was,
tell me. No, you
all
didn't.
right. Well, can I get
What do
back to
they
the
look
topic, though?
when they
Let me
walk
address the
outside?
topic,
What do
bro.
they look like?
But wait. We're getting
Mulattoes.
off topic. Wait.
No,
We're getting off topic. That's really that's really a question of no consequence.
I'd rather
You
him come
know.
on here for just a regular name, because
But no,
the
but
calling,
hold
man,
on. Hold
this
on,
is
wait,
retarded.
hold on.
It's retarded.
Wait. First of all, my nickname Monica is Baby Hebrew. You're known as Just Talking Raw. We all have our plethora of nicknames or preferential names. I'm not going to attack anyone on their preferential name. That's a question of no consequence, and let's take that off the table. So, like I was saying, multi-generational, welcome, and what's on your mind?
Yes, and I appreciate you for that, brother. And this will be brief. Actually, Trump didn't say that the restitution was only or exclusively for Caucasians. And my assertion is that many African Americans are eligible for restitution based on being discriminated against in favor of DEI hires. My point is, a lot of these DEI hires are going to immigrants, particularly Latinos, Indians, Pakistanis, and other Asians, as well as Caucasian LGBTQs and other races of LGBTQs. So, for the listeners, I would suggest that African Americans, if you felt that you were discriminated against in favor of immigrants who are being employed as DEI hires, file a complaint, file a lawsuit, contact Trump to see if you could get some of this money, some of this restitution that Trump is offering. This doesn't have to be a loss to the African American community. The only way it's a loss is if African Americans don't apply for the restitution that's being offered. And I'll mute up.
Okay, I see you and I are on the same page, multi-generational. I see you've been doing your homework. I
Yes,
keep
sir.
trying to tell everybody, this is why I tell everybody, before you go listen to mainstream media, you must check, and quadruple check anything they tell you. Now, Sister Cream, I don't know. I sent the video to you. It should be the Philip Scott show, and it's dealing with this very subject matter. Are you able to bring it here and I want to dissect this topic? Are you able to
Yeah,
bring that video up?
I want to bring my attention. I mean, bring something attention because I believe that It's an old plan, like an Eisenberg plan. It's an old plan that they been doing a long time ago, and it don't matter. They just starting with the Mexicans, but they want everybody really. They want to make America great again. Remember that? So if you go back to
Make America white again.
yeah, great again. White again, exactly. If you go back to history, you're gonna see this as a repeat. A repeat. So I want to pull out some videos real quick, but I'm gonna pull out that one, but I want y'all to get a little understanding, okay? Of where I'm going with it.
Okay, that's fine. Let's go.
Francis Galton was a great quantifier. He liked to quantify height, hair color, what is the chest size of an average man? What is the thigh length of an average man? Even things like intelligence.
Galton had a theory that talent, as he called it, what we would call intelligence, seemed to run in families. And so it quickly occurred to him, if we can get people with high talent to mate with each other, prevent people with low talent from mating with each other, we will, within a few generations, create this race of supermen.
Francis Galton was borrowing.
Hold on, I'm trying to play this other video. With this, I don't know why that's coming on, but it's another. That's the other video, but it's on the other station. Hold on, y'all keep talking. Let me grab this video. I don't know why it's not playing. Hold on.
All right, sure, no problem. But anyway, for those who are just coming in, we have we want to welcome you. We got Dominic Liddell on deck. We have Smash and Idol. We have Jesharon. We have Christopher the Lawful. And again, we welcome you all. We're having an open conversation first. But first thing first, we're dealing with this issue of allegedly Donald J. Trump, President-elect Donald J. Trump, is supposed to be offering reparations to white people only. I don't agree with that. That's a bunch of Democratic leftist garbage that's being pushed down people's throats. Because number one, here's what they're not telling you. That video that they're showing you of Donald Trump, he made that video a year, one whole year before his election on what he would like to do. In the area of DEI, which stands for diversity, okay, I forgot the E. Come on, help me, y'all. Thank you.
Diversity, equity, and inclusion.
Thank you, sir. Got brain freeze. Thank you
It's
for the
all
save.
good.
Thank you for the save. Diversity, equity, and inclusion. Now, as multi-generational mulatto just articulated, that was talking about all of the deliberate pushing out of blacks, of whites, of Hispanics, and anybody else in between when the Democratic horde, as I call them, came into power and used the DEI as a ways and means to start taking money from we, the people here in this country. Now, look, we understand America's history, but what I firmly believe in is freedom of speech, but responsible speech. And by that I mean, I'm not for Donald Trump. I'm not against him. But what I don't like is for someone or anyone, whether intentionally or unintentionally, to put out false narratives. We got to be here on this platform. We pride ourselves on making sure we do our homework, and if we don't agree, we go counterpoint. But in this case here, this whole issue that what Donald Trump is offering is not for white people only. That's this is what I hate about this mainstream media, this corporate-owned Rupert Murdoch, Fox, Dick Cheney, George W. Bush owned media, corporate media. and as this is why Malcolm X cautioned us so many years ago, that the media, if you're not careful, they can have you hating the criminal, loving the criminal and hating the victim. They can make the victim the enemy and the criminal the victim. Okay, if you're not careful. But what I'm trying to say is this here. That video was made 1 year prior to him being elected. Also, I want you to take into careful consideration that the Democrats are masters at name calling and deflection, projection, and what have you. What am I driving at? First of all, in the 4 years that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris have been at the helm of the presidency and vice presidency, let's take a real good look. They've given $200 billion to Ukraine, a majority white nation, in reparations, right? They gave Israel and still are giving Israel. Since this conflict of this, they started in October of 2023, a year and a half, a couple of months now. They are giving them, how much now they're giving them? Oh yeah, they've given them thus far collectively about 42 plus billion, an all white nation, right? And here it is, since the so-called immigrant crisis has transpired, you have all these white adjacent Hispanics, if you want to call, if you want to call them that, but white adjacent, coming in from other nations who have been getting collectively now $500 billion plus and counting, which of course now about Donald Trump about to put the brakes on. What's my point though? We want to point the finger at Donald Trump or the Republicans, but what have the Democrats given us? Look at all the reparations money that they gave to these people here. And they want you to focus on a video that Mr. Trump made a year prior to his election and taken woefully out of context. See, what I'm about is being accurate. Don't forget that when Donald Trump was at the helm of the presidency, it's a matter of fact and record. He doled out more money to white, blacks, and anybody across the spectrum than any other president in history. For all my black listeners out there, don't forget, he gave more money to black folks than your boy Barack Obama. And you can go check it out for yourself. Don't just take my word for it, but I'm putting it out there because I was on the receiving end of some of that money. That was some good money too. So I'm just saying, this whole don't believe, like Public Enemy said, don't believe the hype. This whole DEI thing that he's attacking, I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm against it. I hate the diversity, equity, and inclusion. Okay, but not affirmative action, because they're two separate entities. We have to understand that affirmative action was put in play because, again, now the sister did say it in her video, and I'll give credit where credit is due, that affirmative action was made because a lot of qualified black people were being pushed out of opportunities for schooling, jobs, because of white supremacist doctrine and what they call generational legacy. Okay? But let's not forget, though, that affirmative action, the biggest beneficiaries of affirmative action, however, has been white women. We have to make sure we be able to cut through all the garbage, OGO, and see who have been the biggest beneficiaries. But the problem is, though, because a lot of white people felt some kind of way seeing black folks using affirmative action to springboard into other avenues of success in their system. They felt some kind of way. And so now, in these last number of years, under the Democratic reign, I'm going to make sure you understand this. On the Democratic reign, not Republican, Democratic maneuvers, they have been chipping away and destroying affirmative action and any other kind of action against all Americans. As I just said, don't forget these last 4 years. The Democrats gave billions upon billions of dollars to everybody but Americans. And using that DEI, that's how all these illegal so-called immigrants have been able to benefit and generate wealth right under our noses. And this is what Donald Trump is putting the brakes on. So like multi-generational Malala just said, this whole issue, anybody, black, white, and in between, if you have a solid case and you can bring your documentation and your facts and your figures, get your money. This is what Donald Trump is saying. He's shutting all that garbage down. No more all that free ride, all this deliberate money laundering that Joe Biden has been doing with all that money going to Ukraine and all these other nations. He putting the brakes on it. And if you got a claim, come see him. He gonna take good care of you. See, Donald Trump he's not liked by Republicans either, but the Democrats are really mad. They are so mad that a great many black people and Hispanics also did not vote for them. So they realized that they committed political suicide. So they doing any and everything now. Oh, here come Trump. Oh, here come Trump. And it's bigger than that. But what Trump is doing is really a good thing, and I'm gonna prove that to you. So don't believe the hype. If anybody gave reparations to white people more than anyone, has been the Democrats. Go check out Ukraine. Like I said, $200 billion. As a matter of fact, 2 months ago they got 8 million. Another 8 billion. Israel been getting buku cash. And Israel, the Israelis, yeah, that's right, all white. So who really been giving money to white people in the form of reparations? Think about it, black folk, for my black folks in particular who might get on that train of being spooked with the Trump. Think about it, $200 billion. There go our reparations money right there. Don't forget it was Gavin Newsom out there in Killer Cali, y'all. All my California listeners, you know what I'm talking about. You saw what the California black cowards did. Democrats who blocked at the last minute a proposal for reparations to be given to black folks out there in California. Huh? Come on now. Don't forget that back in February of 2023, it was Wells Fargo who gave a big, huge donation to the NAACP. And in the San Francisco branch of the NAACP, you had one Reverend Amos Brown, Kamala Harris's Reverend.
Anus.
All right, thank you. But we have children listening. So Amos Brown, Mr. Amos Brown, who blocked, along with the NAACP chapters in San Francisco and the other surrounding areas of California, he blocked a $5 million per person proposal that was being put forth.
So you
This is what
saying he got his check? He got his check, and he don't give a damn about nobody else getting theirs.
they got their checks. See, they got their checks. Yeah, that's right. This is what the Democrats did, y'all. So don't believe the hype. See, this is the counterpoint I'm gonna bring. Cause see, some people are just jumping on this bandwagon because they don't like Donald Trump. Now, this is my thing. It's one thing not to like someone, but what we're not gonna do on this great platform is lie on someone just because we don't like them, or we're not gonna let someone lie on somebody because they don't like them. All right. So, with that being said, I think I've given you enough time to cue up what you want to cue up. Sister Karima, are you ready? Well, all right. If not, does anyone want to come in on a counterpoint or agree with me?
Let me play it over here, but I'm trying to get it over here. Hold on.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, as you're tuning in, if some of you want to come in on this panel and join either a point or counterpoint, you agree with Brother Yeshaya, you agree with multi-generational, or you agree with me, or you disagree, you're more than welcome. But in the meantime, like I said, I want to make sure we understand where this is coming from. That whole, because you know, this is the thing. If Donald Trump was planning on doing a giveaway in reparations to white folks only, you don't think the Democrats would have used that video against him?
Yeah,
That
this
was
ain't an
made
old video. This ain't an old video. So let me make sure that's clear. It's a new video that he just made a speech.
But I'm saying,
about a day ago. So, yeah, when you talk about the video,
go ahead.
So, yeah. What is that noise?
I hadn't put my mic on mute when you came in. Are you sure now? Because
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Go look it up. So don't deny the information. Yeah, everybody's speaking about it right now. So it's new news. It's not old.
No, that video is old. But this whole thing, this issue that he's talking, the way they're bringing it out now is brand new. But the video is old. Okay, and I'm gonna prove that. But let me
he just did a new speech that's not old. Okay. He did a new
stand
speech.
by. Okay, I'm gonna prove it, Karima. I'll prove it. We'll stand by. We'll prove it.
And little Amos Brown, what I want to talk about, why would your BA block something that could help your people? This is
Here's why. Here's why. Because Governor Gavin Newsom or Gavin Nuisance, right along with all these other white supremacist doctrine following individuals, don't want us to have it. But you know, they always use black.
You don't want us to have, but they don't give a damn about anybody else coming up in America, having their own Chinatown, Koreatown. What we don't supposed to have nothing. We the one that gave you. These other people didn't give you nothing, didn't do nothing for you, and they don't want us to have ours.
Well, of course not, Yeshaya, because
that's why America.
Okay, I'm sorry.
That's why America. I'm letting y'all know. Y'all don't know what's coming over the hills. Y'all don't know, boy, because the man upstairs really got to step in and start putting his foot where the sun don't shine. Yeah,
and I agree with you. I agree with you wholeheartedly on that, because listen, they understand that our economic freedom means our freedom, period, and their whole white supremacist doctrine and their system will fall. They understand that they cannot have us be able to reascend to our former glory, because that means they and everyone else will be overshadowed. So no, they don't want us to have it.
Good. You
But it
should
hurts
be
more.
overshadowed.
But hold on,
Hold on, hold on.
but
You
it hurts
should
more.
be overshadowed because you telling damn lies about yourself. You telling lies about who you were and who you was not. That's what I'm talking about. The lies these people tell.
And may I please jump in? It'll be brief. The brother Yashia brought up a good point. He said that America doesn't know what's coming over the hill. And in my humble opinion, and this is backed up by the census demographics, the mulatto mixed multitude is coming over the hill. And when the majority of the people, due to race mixing in the U.S., are mulattoes, descendants of African American slaves, there will be no way that reparations legislation won't be passed because we'll have the highest demographics in the country and we could pass legislation as we see fit. So no, the reparations will definitely be disseminated in due time, really.
Look, man, another thing I want to jump in and say something. This white supremacist doctrine is white BS. Because if people like this always got to throw down our throat how supreme they are, but yet they have done nothing on a supreme level. If you were supreme, this is me talking, you would have built America on your own. You wouldn't have came and got us. You would have been able to build this on your own, my man. If you were supreme, all of what you think that make America great would have came from your mind, not from our ideas and our inspiration. So get the hell out of here with you on this white supremacist talk, because to me it's BS, man.
I agree. No race is
These
supreme.
people, can I say this? Oh, no, I'll let you get it. These people are the biggest goddamn hypocrites on earth, the biggest liars, the biggest crybabies. I ain't never seen nobody on the earth cry more than these people. And they got the power and they crying like they're a bunch of babies. You telling me the way you look, your no melanin in your skin make you supreme? I don't got to worry about getting a sunburn. I don't got to worry about getting skin cancer. But you have to go on the beach every summer with copper tone and all this other stuff that you put on your body to protect you from the rays of the sun. So how the hell can you be supreme, my man? I want to know where the hell these lying where these lying cave monkeys get this theory from. You steal the black man's supreme because you steal everything from us. You stole who you claim Jesus Christ from us. You stole everybody in the Bible who we are. You stole that. You stole even who we were in Europe. You're claiming historical people that were really us as your own. I seen a white woman say, we change the history of man. All right, who's stupid enough to believe that these people in Egypt are the real Kemites? The real Kemites was pushed out and they were put in the Sudan. Them people over there ain't nothing but Turks from Turkey, Ottoman Turks claiming to be Egyptians. Stop the BS, man. Please.
May I please say this? It'll be brief. No race is supreme. Each race has strengths and weaknesses, and respectfully, race mixing is a part of evolution to bring the strengths of each race together to make up for the weaknesses that each race has. So I don't believe in any racial superiority. But back to the topic.
Race mixing is to destroy a race, bringing forth something that's not pure.
Creating a new race, brother.
Yeah. Well, it's not strengthening races; it's destroying races.
It
That's what it's
strengthen
doing.
well respectfully, it creates a new race that has the strengths of each race that the new race is made up of. For example, me as a mulatto, I have the strengths, and it could be argued also I have the weaknesses of the races I mix with as well. I won't deny that. But the product of the strengths and the weaknesses of each race that I come from. This is a part of evolution. Really. There's
We
nothing
don't.
wrong
I
with
don't.
race
We don't
mixing.
believe in evolution. I don't believe in evolution. Evolution is a man-made created theory. You understand?
Well, when I say
Man-made.
evolution, I'm not speaking
Yeah,
about
I get what you're
human
saying, but I'm
beings
talking
coming from
about
apes.
by
I'm
their
saying,
concept,
go
by
ahead.
their scientists. I'll let you get it. Hold on. By the concept of their scientists, I don't believe in no goddamn evolution. I don't
All right.
believe the earth appeared out of an explosion. Because if I put a bomb, right, in a building, if I go in a building with a bomb, like when in 9/11, right, when them planes crashed into the buildings, name me who came out of there alive after they collapsed.
Multiple different races.
Yeah, really? If I
Yes.
put a car bomb under your car and it blow up,
You said
you coming out of there
9/11,
alive?
brother. There were
Are you gonna
survivors.
come out of there alive?
Well, brother, there were survivors of 9/11. That was
No,
the
I'm
example you
saying
gave.
nothing can come by an explosion. It had to be created. You understand?
Yes.
That's the problem with the world. No, I'll let you get back. The problem of the world is that you keep on listening to these damn animals, monsters, keep selling you bull, you know what? And people keep on believing in it. I mean, really, how many people listening to this program right now we doing right here? And if you, some of y'all might not believe or understand the truth of the scriptures and stuff like that. Y'all might not believe in none of that, you know. But can't you see that America's on borrowed time? Look what's going on in this country. Everything that's going on in this country spells the end of this country. This immigrant crisis, migrant crisis, cost this country billions of dollars that they ain't had no business giving to these people. You had no business bringing them here. Period. You already had people that been in this country for hundreds of years. You had people that have been in this country who have fought in major wars to protect America's interests, and you don't take care of them. You got people that's been in the military, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, veterans on the street corners of America. They homeless. They looking for a place to stay, a nice cooked meal a day, shelter. And this stupid ass government gonna bring in some goddamn immigrants, man. Y'all are dumb as hell, man. And he should deport all of them if he can.
Facts. Deport all of them. And I want to address something that I read in the comment section. It was a minute ago, but I wanted to clarify because, and this is with all due respect to the brother smashing idol, but what he said is wrong. This land does not belong to Mexico, and I've addressed this on this platform multiple times. Anyone listening, you could just look up the Mexican versus Indian Wars. That's when Mexico literally stole and colonized the lands that we now know as Texas, Colorado, California, New Mexico, Arizona, etc. Mexico stole that land from the U.S. indigenous tribal nations. So, no, this land does not belong to Mexico. Mexicans are colonists in this land, just as Caucasians are colonists in this land. And we have to stop falling for the propaganda that Hispanics force upon us because they are using it as a tactic to actually take over our land. This is not their land, this is our land.
And can I say something quick?
I want to address cooking with Billy. Cooking with Billy. What we're not up here. We're not crying. We're
Cooking
not
with
doing
Billy,
no
you need to
pseudo.
get your own cooking show.
We're not pseudo. We're not pseudo crying here. What we're doing is we're bringing out all the evidence, bringing out all the facts, and leaving it up to you out there in Lions Den land as this conversation continues to make your own informed choice. But ain't no crying over here. We had 52 cities, but we established our own. But what happened to them, cooking with Billy? We didn't have a military in play, and we had no defense mechanism. And this very government, using every kind of vicious, violent ways and means, and using traitors among our people, put in an offensive to burn, flood, and destroy them out of existence. Okay?
Do you know that there's one surviving member left? Hold on, just get just one point. Just to get the point here.
Let me cook, please. You do that all the time. You do that all the time. Now let me get my say, please. Thank you. Moving on. Now, also, they use assassin's bullets, murdering our leaders and those who were about our business and attaining our freedom also. And this is why we are now in this millennium, 24 years in. And this is why things are coming to the head that they're coming to now. So cooking with Bill, we don't cry here. Putting out facts does not mean we're crying. As I said earlier on, if you or anyone else in here has a phobia against the truth, facts, and reality being put forth, you have our deepest sympathies, because we're not going to compromise it. We're not going to sugarcoat it. And we unapologetically are going to stand on it. All right? If you can't handle that, you're free to go. You don't have to be here. As far as Brother Tyrone, Mississippi Masala, my man, dig. Color does matter. The color talk is important, because see, we've been discriminated against because of our color. Besides our national origin, who we are, our color has been a problem for the so-called dominant society. So it does matter. And also, please understand, we're not talking black supremacist talk. That's not what we're doing either here, Brother Tyrone. So I disagree with you on that part. But welcome to the conversation. Continue the Lion's Den as we continue on. Now Yeshayada, cook.
Yeah. Always people gonna come in here to disagree or to agree, right? We got to ask ourselves as a race of people whether we know who the hell we are or not, whose team you gonna be on. Whose team you on? Because when it get hot in the kitchen, you're gonna need somebody to be able to put that fire out. If you on the wrong side, I'll let you know already, you will get burned by that. See, we ain't got no time to jive talk about nothing no more. The truth been smacking you in the face for 400 years. Y'all been loving being smacked around because y'all ain't been woke up yet. Some of our people really believe in the American dream. Dreams are dreams, but our dream in America never came true. You dig? You telling me that it was your dream to come over here and be a slave or a captive or to be in bondage over another people over you, rule over you? That was y'all dream? America need to take care of the ones that took care of them. The white power structure need to stop shucking and jiving and write them checks, because you do owe. A man or woman work a job, you pay him when the job is done. Well, we done paid, we done put in our time. We done did the job and never got paid. The only thing we got more paid is more racism, more lynchings, more race discriminatory laws you write to keep us down in America. Nah, we want that money so we can build up our communities. But y'all ain't gonna allow that to happen. Y'all ain't gonna allow that to happen. Learn from what the Lord is doing abroad, because what he's doing abroad, I'm gonna guarantee it. I'm gonna let y'all know he's gonna bring it forth here. Repentance for you people, you should be doing that every day you wake your eyes open up. Your eyes open up. You should pray and ask the Lord for forgiveness for what your fathers have done. Here's a people that's proud to be on stolen land. Land that's full of nothing but dead bodies and blood. Covered this whole country. Blood, son. You lied to your children, talk about you bought the state of New York for $24 worth of beads. Man, stop that lie, man. You know damn well your ancestors murdered the people on this soil. Stop it. This is what I don't like about these people, man. And I'm going to keep it 100. The Lord got to do his due to bring forth peace to this earth. All the ones of those that is causing the earth to be in chaos, they behind got to go. Go. He got to take charge of back what belonged to him, which is mankind and womankind. He is the creator. Man been running around, chopping his damn, running his big mouth, acting like he the boss. I'm God. I've heard people say that. Well, the real power need to step up and show man, I'm the man. I'm in charge. My message to you, so-called Caucasians, white people, whatever the hell you call yourself, y'all are going to see gloom days. Y'all gonna see gloom days. Y'all gonna see pain days, days of misery, anguish, because all of what you have done, you're gonna get it back 2 times over. The Almighty don't want to hear about, oh, my forefathers did it. What does it have to do with me? He don't give a damn about that. Because we could say the same thing. Me, Malachi, Karima, we could say the same thing. Our forefathers made it bad for us. That's alive. But we took the blow for them. What make you damn think that you're gonna tap dance your way through this? All the blood y'all have spilled, even now, y'all spilling blood now. They murdering our people in this country. Yeah, we doing it too, but we doing it to each other is biblical because the Lord said it would happen. Because of the damn disobedience, you didn't want to obey. He said, I'm gonna make y'all destroy yourself. Boom, that's happening. But whatever he brung on us, you don't got this right to bring the same plague on us. You ain't got that right. And this is the problem I got with them. There was a joke. Richard Pryor said, "These white folks don't want us to be here." I went to see this movie, Logan's Run. Ain't no ends in it. White folks must be planning for us to be here. That's what make America great again really mean. We really don't want you ends here. If we could get rid of all of you and we can control America on our terms, we would do it. Do you believe, anybody believe that there's actually going to be peace on earth with the great deceiver, which these people are ruling the world? Do you think that there will be peace? Peace will come when the children of the promise come back into their seat of authority and power on earth. That's when peace will come. Not when this beast is running around rampant.
And
The
please
time
allow
has
me to
come.
say this.
Hold it,
My
man.
bad.
I'm not done yet.
I mean, you
No
monologue.
disrespect.
My
but
My
hold
bad.
on.
man,
You shy
hold it.
down.
Wait. Hold it.
You shy down. Hold on.
Hold
You
it.
shy
Wait.
down.
Wait a minute.
Wait,
Let's
brother.
could you be quiet for a
I get
second?
it.
Hold
Hold on.
it for a
This is
second, man.
Malachi speaking.
I get
Hold
it.
on.
He didn't
Sometimes
let
you
me
tend,
finish.
but you shy
Okay?
down. You tend to sometimes filibuster.
So what?
So can you please? So allow
Well,
someone
he
else.
gotta
We
let
gotta be
me finish.
balanced here.
He gotta
Okay, come
let me
on, man.
finish. Hey, who created the show here? Did he create?
So now hold
So
on.
when I'm done,
Hold
he can
on.
talk.
Hold on. Creating
When
a
I'm
show
done,
is
he can
one
talk,
thing.
man.
Hold
When
on.
I'm
You
done,
creating a show
when
is
I'm
one
done,
thing,
he
but
can
being
talk.
rude is another.
I'm
We're
not
not gonna
being
do that
rude.
here.
I said
You
when I'm
are.
finished. When
I'm
I'm
letting you know you
finished.
are. You are
When
being
I'm
rude.
finished, he can. When I'm
Okay,
finished,
come
he can
on,
talk.
man.
All right.
Don't do that.
When I'm done, he can talk. Okay.
But Ak, you talking too much though.
What you mean I'm
Seriously.
talking much? You take over the
Sometimes
damn
Ak,
show then, man. You want to
we'll
take it
let you
over? I'm
do it.
leaving. Go. Bye.
It's not
Later.
about you. See, look at that.
No, you take it over.
Look
You
at
take it
that.
over. Later.
Okay, go ahead.
Go.
Go ahead. Please go. And listen, this is what we gonna do. This is what we not gonna do here. And I said before, and I'm gonna say it again. We invite people in. We're not gonna be rude hosts, just like we're not gonna have rude guests. Now go ahead, multi-generational. You want to speak? Make your point.
Appreciate you. And literally, to be brief, I wanted to address the brother. And this is much love to the brother Yashia too. You feel me? I hope you come back up. But to the brother in the comment section, cooking with Billy, I hope you come up as well. But I also want to reiterate that Mexicans are not native to the U.S. They're native to Mexico. You can say that they are native to North America. That is true. But Mexicans are definitely not native to the United States. They are from south of the Rio Grande River, which is outside of the United States. So they have no land rights in the U.S.
Okay, but now with that being said, Christopher the Lawful, we okay. But this is the thing, right? We set ground rules here when we run this show, and and just like we set the rules, we're gonna follow the rules, and there's no respect to persons. Okay, what I'm about here on this show, what we're about, or supposed to be about, is being able to be democratic enough to allow anyone else to speak, have their say, and we're gonna speak within a certain amount of time. All right, but we want to make sure that we don't filibuster. We want to make sure that we don't lose people by being rude and being commandeered. We're not going to do that here on this platform. There's no respect to persons. When I get too garrulous, I get shut down. So it's not about me being mean or adversarial, but I'm reading the comments and I read what people say. So if we set the rules, we're going to follow the rules that we set first and foremost. Now let me do a little reading here and see who's talking. This goes to Sister okay, this is 1968. Donald Trump is 80 years old. He will die within the next 4 years. Trump is only trying to establish his family's wealth for generations to come. We are not included in Trump's plan for greatness. Okay. We got Sister Hanaya Yashara. She says, I think our people need to understand that this is captivity. This only a place for us to learn, for you to learn your lesson and then wait to leave from here. You shouldn't even want to invest in this place. And Hanaya Yashala, it's not so much that we want to invest in the place, but while we're here, it is time for us to receive our just due, as the scripture said it's supposed to be done. But just like ancient Egypt and all other world empires where we serve captivities, this nation is also hardening its heart against the great one true power. Okay, so I understand what you're saying, sister, in this context, but please understand that we still are supposed to have our just due while we await the Exodus. Okay? But at the same time, though, despite the fact and in spite of the society not wanting to give us our just due, it's going to be taken. See, what's really frightening the Democrats more so than anybody, the fact that it's been estimated. Now, I don't know how true this is because I don't have direct evidence of my own. But according to other sources out here, it's been estimated that 10 million black men and women could see this someone have walked away from the Democratic plantation. Hallelujah. That what got them scared more than anything, that we are showing now that we're standing on what we mean. We're standing on our business. Okay? And at the same time, now biblical prophecy about us being reawakened, and taking our rightful place is now in play. Okay? 1960, let me see who else is talking. We got Salaya Yah Ben Yah. You said Donald's been running for the 2024 election longer than a year. So the video is in line of his campaign. All right, Salaya Ben Yah, got you. So the bottom line is, like I said,
I'm gonna play this video.
You
But,
ready? Go.
It's a few videos I want to play that lines it up. And yes, he was talking about that. You need to go and do more research instead of shutting down the information that's presented, because this is actually what everybody's talking about right now, and as far as what he's presented to give to the white people now. Okay, but never mind about that. We're gonna talk about the act that he's trying to use and that he mentioned. You feel me? So we're gonna go back. So you got to understand what plays into this act. Okay, so let's go.
Welcome to County Office, your ultimate guide to local government services and public records. Let's get started.
What is the role of the Alien Enemies Act of 1798 in a potential mass deportation program? The Alien Enemies Act of 1798 is a law that has been in place for over 2 centuries with a notable history. It was enacted as part of the Alien and Sedition Acts during a time when the United States was nearing war with France. This law grants the president the power to apprehend, restrain, and remove non-citizens during a declared war, or if the U.S. faces an invasion by another country. It specifically targets individuals from an enemy nation, which can include those born abroad, even if they have been long-term residents of the U.S. Historically, the act has been invoked sparingly, during the War of 1812, World War I, and most prominently during World War II. In World War II, it was used to justify the internment of over 120,000 Japanese Americans, a decision later recognized as a serious violation of civil liberties. The act does not mandate that non-citizens receive a hearing before detention or removal. This absence of due process protections raises concerns about potential civil liberties violations. The government has utilized it to detain and deport non-citizens without judicial review, relying solely on the president's assessment of public safety. Recently, there have been worries that the act could be exploited for mass deportations. For instance, former President Donald Trump has proposed using the Alien Enemies Act to implement a large-scale deportation program targeting not only undocumented immigrants, but also those with legal status. This could result in racial profiling and the wrongful detention and deportation of U.S. citizens. The act permits the president to bypass standard deportation procedures, which typically involve immigration courts and due process protections. Consequently, individuals could be detained and deported based on their nationality or perceived nationality without proper checks or safeguards. The potential misuse of the Alien Enemies Act is a pressing concern, as it could impact not just undocumented immigrants, but also legal immigrants and U.S. citizens, particularly those in mixed status families. It challenges the principle of due process, a fundamental aspect of the U.S. judicial system. There have been attempts to repeal the Alien Enemies Act, such as the Neighbors Not Enemies Act, aimed at preventing abuses of power and ensuring that all individuals in the U.S. are afforded due process protections.
So what's the skinny on that particular video that we should take away from Karima?
The fact that the matter is, you just said it wasn't just about, the legal. It could, stand in place for go back to us. You know what I mean? It could actually go back to us and the Latino Americans, Afro Americans. It can go back to, you heard it says, now, but I want to take it back to history.
And that's a very good video, because you know what? That I agree with that. I agree with your findings, because that aligns with the NDAA, the National Defense Authorization Act, but that's a whole other subject matter and everything. I want to make sure we stay on topic, but this is a good video. What's your next video you want to play?
No, that's actually dealing with his deportation matter. What are you talking about? Let's not brush over that.
No. I agree. No, I agree. I'm agreeing with the video. Karima, I'm agreeing with the video. I'm agreeing with that, but I'm making a correlation to the National Defense Authorization Act and how but you may not be familiar with that particular legislation, but I agree. I see what's happening. So I agree with the video. It's a great video. What's your next one?
No, we're not gonna brush past that. That's important. Okay. Whether you don't
I wasn't brushing past it.
Let me finish. It's very important, because that deals with us. That deals with all different nationalities. And that goes with, like I was playing when I said when we was at war with different countries. Africa and different things that play into fact that, remember I say they could be looking at us as the enemy at the end of the day. So when you talk about that's just the surface. When we helping them pass these laws against citizens, it's a deeper message inside that. You know what I mean? It's more things that's added into this law that we are actually overlooking of this deportation, which I'm showing.
Well, I actually like the video because we need to use that law to mass deport all illegal aliens. I agree that we need to deport the illegal aliens. My question is, how does that apply to us as descendants of U.S. slaves, U.S. citizens? How can that be used against us?
How could it be used against us? Because they don't even consider us that's supposed to be in this town. I mean, this country. Remember, they was telling us to go back.
But we're U.S. citizens, though.
Quick one, yeah.
They don't.
I was gonna say,
Black American.
Wait, hold on. Don't interrupt. They were speaking. Relax. Hold on for a second. Let Karima and multi-generational finish, and we'll let you come in, brother. Hold on. Go ahead. Karima, you were speaking.
Yeah, I said what I said, and baby Hebrew, this ain't gonna be no debate as far as we trying to win something over for Donald Trump. We just stating facts, okay? So you know me, I'm not about to go back and forth with somebody over one subject. So let this brother speak.
No, it's not about a debate. It was a point counterpoint.
Yeah, it is, because I can see where it's going, because he's steady saying the same thing that's irrelevant to what I'm saying and what's at the matter. Okay, so we're not gonna keep on talking about that. Let the other brother bring this issue up. Okay,
we will, but I'm gonna answer your question, multi-generational. I'm gonna answer your question. How can it pertain to legal citizens? I won't tell you what they say. I want you to look up the Defense Enhancement Security Act, DESA, and the NDAA, the National Authorization Defenseman Directive, that was put into play under the administration of Barack Hussein Obama. I'll give you an overview. In both those pieces of legislation, okay, in correlation to this video that Karima just showed, Mr. Obama gave full and sweeping promise.
That don't have nothing to do with Obama. This is back
Karima, lioness, let me finish.
You're trying to avoid.
No, Karima, I'm giving a correlation of what was written in those acts. If you're not familiar with those, that's what I'm saying. I want everyone to take time out to go read. But I'm answering his question. The video you showed, here's the correlation, my friend. They can use what was written
right here, not no Obama. This the correlation. I know the history on this. That's why I say I got more information to present. Have nothing to do with Obama.
Karima, I was giving a correlation.
That was a 1798 act. No, we're gonna take it back, way back to history. You're not taking it to these politics that's just standing in for what is far history that you're trying to avoid.
But sister, why you being argumentative though, sister?
Hold on, wait, hold on, brother. We're not trying to avoid Karima, we're not trying to avoid anything. What I'm doing is, again, I'm gonna repeat it again. No, Karima, I'm not. I'm giving a call. Karima, you won't even let me finish. Like I said, I'm answering his question about the correlation. Now, point, counterpoint, no debate. We'll let the people decide what they want to run with.
That's your correlation. You're messing up the reason why.
Karima.
Hold on, because you're doing too much. You're doing way too much. You're messing up what I put out there, trying to correlate it to where you're understanding, and that's way off. That's way off.
You haven't even let me finish. How do you know it's off if you won't let me finish the point?
Because I'm the one presenting the information, and you're trying to correlate it to what you think, and it has nothing to do with that.
But he asked a question about how would it be.
He asked me a question. He asked me a question, and you're trying to answer it.
Karima, he asked, how could it be used? Okay.
But did he not ask me a question, and I made my statement on it, but you're trying to answer it for me?
But sis, you wouldn't answer it though, sis.
I don't care about none of that. You heard what I said, and you're trying to answer it for me, and that's not the way it's been presented.
No, Karima, I wasn't trying to.
No. So when I said let's move on, and you trying to narrate what the information that I brought talking about is correlated with what you're speaking on, it's not.
You haven't allowed me to finish, Karima. I thought in this conversation that we would be democratic enough to be able to let everyone have their say, whether you like it or agree with it or not.
No, you're taking it.
I thought that was the rule, the house rule.
No, you're taking the information. Like I said, can't nobody speak for me, first of all.
I'm not speaking for you, Karima.
You would be if he asked me a question and you're trying to correlate it to the information that I presented.
But Karima, bear in mind that
You have
all
a,
truth.
but you don't
Oh
have
my God.
a proper understanding on the information which I told you. So how can you sit there and continue to try to dictate what information I presented?
So what am I
I'm
missing, Karima?
telling him I'm not trying to go back and forth with his understanding on information that I presented when it don't have nothing to do with it. And you're allowing this brother to do the same thing I said I'm not going to do because it suits your narrative.
I don't have a narrative, Karima.
Yeah, you
My
are.
narrative
You
is
pushing the hell out
my
of
nar-
Trump. Yes, you are. At the end of the day,
my narrative is actually the Bible.
I said, I'm not going to answer that. I'm going to move on and let this brother speak because I'm not going to go back and forth with this brother as far as his stance and trying to tear the narrative of what I presented. And then here you is trying to do the same thing.
Karima.
Okay, that's
All I'm
it.
saying,
That's totally it. So if you don't have time
so
and you
now we got a dictatorship. Okay, I got you.
no, you actually push my information off instead of me going back and forth with you. I just said forget it. You understand?
I didn't
Because
push
you
it
try to,
off.
yeah, you did.
It was it's good information.
No, you did, and you try to dictate it, and you talk about what's next. You ain't even understand the information that was pushed. So I did
Okay,
try.
what did I miss?
So I did try to move on and let the other brother speak, but he want to entertain this other brother on his point of view. We not about to do that. Now let the other brother that just came in speak. You can't speak for me, and you can't speak for the information I present. If you don't want to build on it, I understand that. But you can't push it off and say this is that and this is that when it's not what I presented it for. Go ahead, the other brother.
Thank you, Sister Lejeff or Karima. I don't want to
You can go with Karima.
Karima. Okay, yeah. Sorry for the interruption. And,
no, it's not
peace.
that. It's not that. It's just I don't go back and forth with people on the situation. I try to present the information and let us build on it or whatever. But I don't want nobody to put their own narrative and switch it up and say what it ain't when I'm trying to stay focused on a topic at hand.
Yeah, 100%. Respectable. Peace, Elder Malachi. Peace. I was gonna ask just about the act that I just saw. So, if they was hypothetically to deport the enslaved descendants of the African Americans, where would they put
Yeah,
them?
you can
Because
speak to me on that one because I presented the information and that's what I want to deal with. I want to deal with the information that was discussed and said in the act that was presented. So yes, let's go there.
Yeah, that's all I was gonna ask. Where, because there's 54 countries in Africa, so it's like where you gonna put? You gonna put them in Nigeria and Ghana? Like that's just so asinine to me because here it is, Black Americans, they've been practically in America since the 1600s. So you're gonna put all of the people, those descendants that's in America, and you're gonna put them in one of the African countries where they don't speak the language, they don't know the people, the culture, which is gonna leave them susceptible to homelessness. Not knowing where they are. Basically, they're gonna be nomads, basically. So yeah, I just wanted to get your opinion on that. I'm gonna mute my mic.
I mean, that's what I want to know. I want to stick to just in case if this act, never mind about the suffix of them trying to get rid of the border people, whatever. You feel me? If it really he present this act back, okay, and it's talking about other people, other nationalities. It ain't just what I mean, legal aliens. You know what I mean? Could be me, you, and other people. What's going to happen? Like,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's interesting because I've never seen an act like that before, just until you showed it to me now. So, but I get from a certain standpoint of warfare why they would want to get rid of immigrants who they're in war with, basically who's America's in war with their country, because they don't like they're kind of like a war risk to they're basically like a STG, like a security threat group, as Elder Malachi said. So they don't want them to infiltrate on the inside. So I guess that's why they would want to get rid of all those immigrants that they have war with their country, basically.
On the surface level, yeah, we know that. But how is they going to be able to do this when people like us, you feel me, from here, and how are we going to prove, you know what I mean? I mean, they said citizens, it don't matter. So how that's going to be?
Well, time will tell on how that's going to go down. But you have other videos you want to show us besides this one, Karima? I think I know you had more you want to show. So let's get into it. And while she's queuing up, let's see who's talking. All right. Let me see. You got I see. Okay, we got so much to. Oh wow. Okay, Tyrone Adeyanya, you talking about you white too? Okay, right. What else is going on? Tashaka, what's going on, brother? I'm glad to see you in the chat and everything else. A lot's going on. And Cooking with Billy, you talking about we need somebody to do a real breakdown on the protocols of Zion and the prophecies in that book too. Not familiar with that book. We only do the Bible here. So let me know when you're ready, Karima, when you have it on the video queued up, and we'll continue on with the conversation continues. But again, I want to welcome you all, and we thank you for your contributions. And as far as the chat is concerned, as you can see, we got a lot of intense energy going on. But we don't take things personal here. We shouldn't take things personal, and don't let anyone's directness, assertiveness, abruptness throw you off. Is what family do. It's what we do. Okay, but we're gonna get to the nitty gritty and get to the nucleus of one common answer on what's going on out here. Okay. And so let me know when you're ready, Karima. But in the meantime, in between time, as you can see, there's no respect of persons here in the Lion's Den. As the conversation continues, like I said, what we're all about is bringing forth, again, all things intelligent with integrity, inspiration, influence, independence, insight, and information. And like I said, that is what we pride ourselves on, because it's important to understand that we as moderators, liberated moderators, we can bring our information, but it's up to you, the listening, viewing public, to go and take what we give you and check it out for yourself. As we're cautioned, or we're told in 2 Timothy 2:15 in the Bible, study to show thyself approved. And the key to studying is taking time out to examine all pieces of information from various sources, okay? Disseminate what is actual, factual, from what is fluff or a bald-faced lie. And then you in your studying. You do your cross-referencing with other sources, so that way you reach an exhaustive conclusion. So when you make your statements, or you articulate what you believe are actual facts, you will come from a more objective point of view versus your subjective point of view. And that's what I always strive to do, to be objective when we're on a public forum. So we want to make sure we understand that we don't take things personal here. Some of y'all got a little ruffle, but don't. Please don't. It's what family do. It's what we do. So, Karima, are you ready, my love? Okay. I guess not. But anyway, Shiro, what's going on, brother? How you doing?
Oh yeah, I'm good, Odo. I'm good. Sorry for the interruption. I just wanted to put my little question in there.
Brother, you're not. Hold on. Let me correct you. Correct you. When you come here, we're having an open discussion. When you come here on this panel, you're welcomed here. You're not interrupting anything, ever. Everyone has a contribution and an outlook on everything from a spiritual, intellectual, emotional, social, political, economic, and military, vibration that we discuss here. So you're not interrupting. You don't ever have to apologize.
No,
Welcome.
you
So let
definitely
me
ain't. We welcome everybody's opinion, and we're not gonna let nobody try to bully you with their understanding or anything. So yeah, it's good that you come in with your opinion, your information. We love that. So anybody can come up in here, but we're not gonna have the same people come up in here, interrupt, and be okay with them. No, we're not gonna do that. So
okay, mother, I get it. I was meditating. I see what you did, so I got it, mother. Sorry.
yeah, you know dang well what I'm talking about. You just let that brother do the same thing on some other stuff. We're not about to do that, okay? And I don't care what people think, but I know the whole plan and the motive. Just because he's speaking things that you understand and you like or whatever, but it was starting division between the other brother and you, and that was not cool. Okay, so let's not, do that. But go ahead. I'm about to play this video.
Go to work.
To expedite removals of the Trinidad Aragua group and the MS-13 other savage gangs, I'll invoke the Alien Enemies Act of 1798. Did you know that? I had to go back that far. We couldn't find anything because modern day politicians, even sort of old time, nobody had the courage of these original people. So we had to go back to 1798, and it gives you the power to target and dismantle every migrant criminal network operating on American soil, and you can get them out, and there's no problem. And at least you can't say that it hasn't been around for a while. That's something, right? And if they come back into our country, it's an automatic 10 years in jail with no possibility for parole. So, because a lot of people, what happened, and it happened with us, you'd take them out, they'd come back in, they kept coming in. So he kept bringing them further away. At some point, they didn't come back. But I'm going to do it differently. It's a 10-year system of you're in prison for 10 years with no parole. And I'm hereby calling for the death penalty for any migrant that kills an American citizen or a law enforcement officer. And you'll be amazed how it worked. When I was in the White House, we had a lot of people that wanted to pull down statues and things. And I didn't like it too much. And we didn't have time to pass a law because they were really getting pretty violent around in Washington, D.C. And they wanted to pull down. Actually, when they started roping up Abraham Lincoln and a couple, I said, I'm not even sure they knew what they were doing. But we found a law that was in the early 1900s, very tough law, that if you so much as touch in violation of anybody's word, if you so much as touch a monument or a statue, you get 10 years in jail. And I had a news conference, and the town was flooded.
But you heard him. You see, y'all be looking at the surface part of things. You heard him say, "Give us the, same rights that that woman just presented." That's just the surface to give us the right to, deport the Mexicans, the gangs, and all that other stuff. But it's deeper than that. But go ahead, y'all finish talking.
But it's like he cannot. Trump wants to bring like some martial law on the streets of America because he's calling for the death penalty.
Right.
Yeah, he's calling for the death penalty. So he wants to make it. He wants to make it solidify the power of his presidency to say that if any of these illegal immigrants touch any of the U.S. citizens, the naturalized born citizens, they need to die. Simple as that. Our lives are worth 10 times more than any illegal immigrant. So it's a bold move, but they're gonna, boy, I don't know how they're gonna pull that off, but yeah, I'll let someone else speak.
Yeah, I hear the language. I hear what he's saying and everything else. But I do see, however, that now that they're here, yeah, that removing them ain't gonna be. It may not be as easy as said. It's gonna be maybe easier said than done. Okay, I see a whole. It's a potential. This is all. This is purely speculative, but this gonna be a problem. I do see it's gonna be a problem. Okay, and everything else. But as far as the MS-13, considering the fact that some of them with their anti-black attitude, there was a couple of MS-13 gang members who murdered some black people out here in New Jersey some years ago. So for me, that kind of it's a personal. I can agree with him on that surface point. So sending over these criminals and these vagabonds over here, and they get over here with some of their anti-black attitude. That is a bit of an issue. Okay, that I can agree with him on. But now he went back to the 1700s to pull it up. I do see I see the problem. I can see how that could now filter over to the naturalized citizens in the country as well. Okay. And this goes to, again, a lot of policies that were put in play, but it's I don't want to be incorrect. All right. But what I will say is this here. For all of us out here listening, all of us watching, we better make sure that we dig in our heels and brace ourselves for what's coming. Okay. Now, like I said, I'm not for him. I'm not for Donald J. Trump. I'm not against him. Okay. All I just try to do is play both sides of the fence and everything else. Karima, can we play that video I had with Philip Scott? Is that possible?
Yeah.
Come on. Okay. So let me know when you're ready with that. But, still, because I believe our issue is spiritual only, we got to brace ourselves for the divine judgments that are coming. See, the way I look at it, the Lord has now opened up a wave and a spirit that's being put on everybody, and everyone's revealing who and what they really are in these last days and times. And so we're going to have to see things for what they are, what they really are. And again, because for the Democrats and other intelligentsia agencies and organizations, seeing the wave of black folk, black men and women who walked away, although there are forces now trying to pull this gender war thingy on us, where they want you to think that black men are against black women and black women are against black men, and you have some very ugly and now changing course momentarily, we see a lot of ugly and incendiary language that's being used by what I'm going to say paid provocateurs. You know, we have Luther Campbell, you know, the last remaining living member of the 2 Live Crew, and a host of other black women out here, some black women out here, you know, putting out videos. Well, we hope that black men get killed now that Donald Trump is president. I hope the cops kill you more, and yah, yah, yah. And that is crazy to me. This crashing out in this society where we were told that Donald J. Trump is a threat to democracy and to people's existence, but yet everything I'm hearing right now is coming from the left. We hope you die. I hope the cops shoot you. You took away my right to live, and all this other craziness and madness that we're hearing. So what's really good, y'all? Huh? Granted, like I said, I know Donald Trump, he got some stuff with him, but at the same time, what I'm hearing on the left and we in the middle, we better duck. For all my black folk out there, for all my Israelites out there, for those who prescribe by the Bible, we better duck. Because like Christ said, a nation divided will not stand. And when you see wars and rumors of wars, brace yourself. Okay? And here it is now. I don't know how true this is. That we now had now what appears to be a 4th attempt, allegedly, on the life of Donald Trump. Okay? It looks to me like somebody's trying to make the Simpsons prophecy come to pass. So it's a lot going on out here and everything else. And I'm going to see who's talking. Indigenous black man. What's up, brother? How you doing? Welcome. Welcome. And Smashing Idol, y'all gonna realize ain't nobody for us, Dem or Republican. Okay, you got that. And I agree with you on that. Indigenous black man said, yeah, like I said, the immigrants will be the new jail prison fillers. Okay. I see where you're going with that. And Cooking with Billy said, the white supremacists don't want the South American natives to reconnect with the North American natives. That's all that means. And the Mayans are Hebrews. Okay. All right. I see where you're going, Cooking with Billy. I'm feeling you on that. Who else is talking? Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I was gonna make a point that under the Constitution, black people, we have equal right under the law, and we have a right to due process. So anytime there's a cop killing, we literally have equal. That's what we're supposed to have. It says in the Constitution, equal rights under the law. So it's just that him as a president coming into obviously his 2nd term, he needs to uphold that for all citizens, not just white people or Hispanic people, or every citizen, because that's what would really protect black people from when the cop comes and pulls out his gun, and because he's got his badge, he feels that he can just kill a black man point blank. It doesn't work like that. Equal protection under the law. Simple as that. It's a constitutional right.
Now, as far as the Constitution is concerned, my brother, you and I both know that Constitution.
Find another video because I got restricted using his video before, and he monetizing off his video, so you got to find another.
Oh, okay. You know what? You don't worry about it. We don't have to use it. No problem.
Yeah, you see the dollar sign, monetizing off his videos. When you see the sign like that, yeah, you got to go around it.
Oh, okay. No problem. Not a problem. Not a problem. We can take it up the table. But as far as the Constitution and rights are concerned, I'm gonna say, I don't believe in rights. I've never believed that we have the right. We only have privileges. See, I believe in privileges. I believe that if you're a law-abiding citizen and you do what's, within the laws and you live your life civilly, then you enjoy the privilege of being able to enjoy certain pleasures and certain payoffs. But rights, that word, it irks me, considering that we have people in this country who believe they had the right to label us 3/5 of a human being, which of course is mathematically impossible. It's either you're human or you're not. Okay? We've seen how at times with this Constitution, a document forged in hell by the apostates of hell, they gave rights to their men, to white men, and under Dred Scott, the Dred Scott decision, under the rights of the Constitution, we were told that a black man has no rights a white man must respect. And that's still the mentality. So let's be careful with this constitutional right thing, okay? Because in immortal words of former president of these United States, George W. Bush, the Constitution, it's just a piece of paper. They can wipe their butts with it, is what he's basically saying. And we've seen how they've trampled all on the rights of we the people. So that word right, you're not wrong. You're entirely your opinion. I'm not saying I'm not trying to take it away from you, but I just don't like using it. I just believe in privileges. And I think the main gist of what we're looking at, though, is that a lot of let's just get right down to it. A lot of white folks feel that anytime Black, Hispanic, or anybody in between can challenge them on their white privilege, they go to word, their white privilege of being able to do and say what they want to do anytime they want, it's now unequal. It is not right. They feel some kind of way about it. That what the real issue is, what we're looking at here. Now, as Smashing Idol said, both the Republican and Democrats are no good. And as a dear friend of mine used to say, his name was James Mtume, former head of the music group Mtume, Juicy, and all the other wonderful hits he used to make. James Mtume said it best. The Republicans rob the bank. The Democrats, they drive the getaway car. But the bottom line is, what we see coming is not going to be any good for we who are in the working class, and we better get ready. Because again, this is everything is still divine and prophetic. Their whole aim is to try to keep we, the children of Israel, in captivity and try to keep this curse on us for another 400 years if left up to them. And if they can't keep it on, they're going to try to come at all of us. As the video Karima showed earlier, that's it. It's going to come for all of us in the long run. I know I couldn't make the correlation on the DESA, the Defense Enhancement Security Act, and the National Defense Authorization Act, but all that is going to be coming against all of us. The Bible said that we be the primary target. And because we're showing now that we are standing on business, we mean business. This has all the other nations across this planet very concerned. But what we don't want, what we don't want to do for ourselves now, we're seeing the divine principle in play. And for those of you just coming in, we talked about how Spain is getting nonstop hit with a barrage of various storms, hurricanes. We got hailstorm. They're getting hit with floods. Then you have all throughout Italy and all other European nations. They're getting hit with a barrage of nonstop storms and deluges because divine prophecy is coming into play. And here in America, the great city Babylon, as the book of Revelation said in the 18th chapter, that doth with violence shall America fall, shall Babylon fall. We're seeing this climate of violence coming into play. Look, there's some who believe that some of the assassination attempts on Donald Trump were staged. I don't believe that, but still, the climate, though, look at the climate. Look at the hate that a lot of people are crashing out here in America. See, I'm very scared. I'll use the word scared. I'm not a punk about mine. But now when I go out in public, when I'm in my travels, if I go to a little spot to eat, might go check out a movie from time to time, I'm leery, man. I'm leery because, again, we got a lot of ticking time bombs that are out here, and we got to be very careful. And so, following my own rule, I want to make sure I don't filibuster. We have Smashing Idol, who has now joined the fray. Welcome to the conversation continues here in the Lion's Den. Smashing Idol, and what's on your mind? Okay, timing is everything. So once again, I'll go. Go, brother, go.
Really was you can't hear me?
You are being heard loud and clear.
Shalom, bro.
I bet. So only thing I wanted to say was, we just need to be careful, you know what I'm saying? Because I personally think, like, when it comes to the little political thing that we just endured and went through, I feel like they was trying to, like, when we looked at the census of it, right? Most of the men, so-called black men, you know what I'm saying, they supposedly voted for Trump more, and then vice versa for the females of our nation, you know what I'm saying? And I think that really, because we got to realize this is a Psalm 83 thing. It ain't about the other people. It's about us, you know what I'm saying? And I think they kind of use that to try to give us like make our women, you know what I'm saying, kind of look at us a certain way, you know what I'm saying, and then vice versa with the men. Now you got this guy Trump back in. Now remember, when Trump first came in, everybody act like they don't remember it, but I remember it. It was some young black brothers that was so-called for Biden when Trump first had won. In Chicago, they went and was beating up on the old white people because they voted for Trump. Now all of a sudden, we got most of the black men, quote unquote, now they're for Trump. And you don't think that these people that voted for Kamala, that ain't our nation, you don't think they looking at us like you ungrateful niggas? And so either way it go, you know what I'm saying? We need to be as a unified people, because when it's all said and done, these people might turn their back on us and blame us for everything. Well, y'all did this. Whatever happens, whether Trump makes them happy or not, you know what I'm saying? The Republicans might not get mad because Trump might make them happy, but then the Democrats, even though y'all ain't voted, as far as Negroes, you know what I'm saying, they might get mad at y'all too and decide y'all better don't forget they climbed that wall in that on that White House, and it was all them people, their own people. You know what I mean? That's it. Y'all work hard.
But Smashing Idol, hold up though. When you look at the climate, black men are being blamed for Kamala Harris losing. We are being blamed for it, but it's bigger than Kamala Harris though. And that's what I find offensive too. Now I won't gang up on this on Miss Harris. This is big. The Democrats always do this though. See, they're missing the boat. See, all that name calling they were doing. Oh, crazy. You got Sonny Holston, you crazy, ridiculous black men. Barack Obama, you guys are misogynists. What? And everyone, Michelle Obama and everyone else. And this is where black men say, hold up, man. Who do you think you talking to? The Joy Reids, and they got a history of doing this. All this name calling and finger wagging predominantly in black men's face. You don't own us. You don't own us. They think they own us, and that is why a lot of black men walked away, and black women too, in droves. Who you think you talking to? We watch 200 billion. I gotta give the numbers again. $200 billion be given to Ukraine, but we don't have money for you guys for reparations. It'll break the country. You got Taiwan that was given half of $94 billion, with the rest going to Ukraine. Israel, over the past year, given almost upwards of now, I think at last count, 50 billion plus since this conflict popped off. And don't even get in these illegal migrants, all that money given them, and the Democrats, you did it in our faces. You ain't even try to hide it. Basically saying, F y'all niggers. You don't tell us what to do. We gonna tell you what to do. And now and black men show, hey yo, we ain't got 10 million black people didn't vote according to estimates. Now I don't know how, for integrity's sake, because I'm broke, okay, and I don't have the ability to do my own research and tabulations. I go by other findings and whatnot, but a consensus saying a great many black men didn't vote. And that's what got Trump over too. They didn't vote. Of course, certain hardcore Democrat vote blue no matter who. The black vote was in, majority. But in the swing states where it really counted, we walked the way. Who you think you talking to? Don't all this yes boss, no boss, that's over with. And they got a hard time with it, man. The curse that the Lord put upon us is up. And we walking back into our masculinity with our black women. And don't believe, look, later for these crash outs and these, any paid stooges, actors and actresses, making you think there's a divide between black men and women. There's some of us who are hardcore, and we walk together off that plantation. Who the hell you think you talking to? They really want to pretend they don't understand that basically they pulled a great pumpkin Charlie Brown. And what do I mean by that? If y'all familiar with that, remember how when they all went around trick-or-treating and everybody got candy, everybody got cakes, everybody got cookies, but when it came to Charlie Brown, all I got was a rock. That's what they doing to us. They made us Charlie Brown. And basically, we watched everybody get candy, cake, cookies, money out the ass. Excuse my language. Money out the behind, and they gave us a rock. And think we're going to be satisfied with it because they were able to get over for so long on our grandparents and parents' generation. But this is a new day. This is a new day. Democrat and Republican, this is a new day. And the sleepers have now awakened. And we woke. And yeah, I know y'all done took the term woke and demonized it. But y'all, we're not going back to sleep. We're not going back to sleep. This is why when you see this when they see formats like this here, a lot of people get mad. But why? What you think that all black men and women subscribe to the BET, Baphomet Entertainment Television? You think we all subscribe to that? mentality? We don't. We don't. And a quick timeout. Brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, you are now tuned into the Lion's Den. Now, we had a bit of a little dust up early on, but it's always co-hosted by our brother Malakaya and Yeshaya Da. Okay? With Sister Karima at the control towers, making sure everything runs orderly and steep. And as you can see, if things get a little off track, the control tower comes in and brings it back under control as needed. And while you are here in the Lion's Den, the conversation continues. In the spirit of our dear sister, the other lioness of the house, Iron Manor, we want you to wipe your feet, mind your manners, conduct yourself in an orderly manner, and enjoy yourself. Enjoy yourself. That's right. Enjoy yourself. But also learn that you are rolling with the pride. That's Pride. Here in the Lion's Den, we are permanently ready in destroying evil, starting with our own, and you also are rolling with the rebels. That's REBELS. Righteous, enlightened believers, exalting life-giving scriptures is what we do. And like I said before, and I'm going to say it again, if you are suffering from the following phobias, if you suffer from truth phobia, fact phobia, or reality phobia, well, you have our deepest sympathies, because you're going to get your feelings hurt if you like living in lies and delusion, because we don't do that here. Okay, bottom line.
Yeah.
And so now, without further ado, I see Smashing Idol is back, or someone wants to come in with another point. You're welcome to do so, and the ball in your court. Go.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm from England, as you guys would know, and I've seen the Democrats literally spit in the faces of black people, from Obama to Joe Biden. Obama gave flipping rights to people who engage in extracurricular activity, I'm gonna say it. And then with Joe Biden now, couple of Asians, they get attacked. A couple of Asians, they've gone through some type of calamity for what? 4 years? We've been going through hell for 400 years. Where's our anti-black American hate bill? You gave them an anti-Asian hate bill. Where's our anti-black hate bill? Like, where is it? You've given all these other nationalities something specifically for them, but where's our thing specifically for us? I'm gonna give it to another brother.
Okay, Smashing Idol, you want to comment on that? Because I want to comment on that, but I want to make sure I don't filibuster. You got something to say on that, Smashing Idol?
Look, you can go ahead, but after that, I want to double down on something else we was talking about earlier, though.
Okay, then bet. Stand by. My man, Shiro, you are absolutely right. First off, I'm glad you I forgot that part. Yeah, here it is. For all y'all Democrats who are watching the show and you wondering why you lost, why black people walked away, and here it is, blatantly in our faces, right? Here the FBI and CIA, could believe it or not, y'all, there at a time when the FBI and CIA, they do tell the truth. They let it be known that black people in this country are the biggest recipients of anti-black white hate nonstop. They let it be known. They know it.
Now you talking.
Okay, mother, I got you. All right, gotcha. So here it is, in our faces. You're gonna go and use the Asians as the buffer to block what you know you're supposed to be giving us. You're supposed to. Yeah, man. Yeah, that was a blatant slap in the face too. And so, enough is enough. Also, another reason why you're lost, and you're gonna keep on losing, and anybody else, when you are sitting before the world, you have a candidate to be a Supreme Court judge, Ketanji Brown. And when you are asked, what is a woman? And now all of a sudden, we don't know the universal definition of what a female is? Are you kidding me? Are you serious? Because quite simple, what's a woman? My mother, my aunt, my sister. When I was one time married, my wife. When I was one time married, my wife. My grandmother. That's a woman. And now with this ridiculous notion and this destruction of the nuclear family, the attempted destruction of the nuclear family, man, woman, children, a little home, and all the niceties that come with, hard work. Yeah, people go, that's why you're lost too. Ain't nobody going for that. And and what really shocked you Democrats is this here. Those same people that you gave that amnesty to, all that money to, turned around and voted for Donald Trump too. Now check that out. That what got you rankled too. Here y'all had a $1 billion war chest to conduct this campaign. And now here it is, you're $20 million in the red, in debt. Yeah, man. That's why black men walked away and we gonna keep walking, because you know what? Even Republicans, it's like this whole system, we walking away from all the way around. But what I'm able to do is just be well-rounded, well-balanced, and now finally get the big picture. Thank you, Karima, to get the big picture and see what's up. But now, with that being said, Smash and Idol, there was something that you want to quadruple down on. The ball's in your court.
Yeah,
What's in your mind?
yeah. We got to realize the people we dealing with. You know what I mean? We dealing with the people that they make up laws as they go. You know what I'm saying? We can look through books and articles and whatever about their laws and how they create them. You know what I mean? And it's always something new. Even with like dealing with like 1090As and stuff like that, little bitty stuff, you know what I mean? They'll change laws. So I wanted to go to yeah, there we go, right there. I wanted to go to this Isaiah 10. It says in 1, it says, woe to those who decree iniquitous decrees and the writers who keep writing oppression, to turn aside the needy from justice and to rob the poor of my people of their right, that widows, you see this, right? That widows may be their spoil, and that they may make the fatherless their prey. Now, earlier I had commented and I was saying that, you know what I'm saying, I feel like they're using this Kamala and Trump thing, you know what I'm saying, with the statistics and stuff like that of us, well, not us, but you know what I mean. Uh, black people, black men, you know what I'm saying, they must have voted for Trump more. And you, of course, it's she looked like a sister. It's a woman, you know what I'm saying. So our sisters would, go that route, and I think they using that. So the verse 2, the middle of verse 2 goes with that, but for the rest of it, we dealing with verse 1, you know what I'm saying, in Isaiah 10 with these people, period, you know what I'm saying. Once again, after he's in office, it's gonna be things that's gonna be changing. Some people gonna be happy, some won't. We gotta understand at the end of the day, we don't have nothing to do with these people. We just got to sit back and make sure that we're keeping the law, statutes, commandments to the best of our ability and trying to follow the Most High. You know what I'm saying? And in the midst of all of that, still being aware of what's going on and how to maneuver around it, of course. But remember, the scripture is always going to be our guide. That's all I got.
And that's an excellent addition. That's very good. And as we continue on, we're going to continue on. You're right, though. You know, everything we still got to make sure we get back to the spiritual, you know, gist of everything that we talk about here. However, I'm gonna add on to that though. The bottom line though is that we now are going to be forced to come together. Maneuvers are still being made on both ends of the spectrum, and we're gonna all have to come together now. And whether we like it or not, delineation. For those who may not know what delineation means, it's when a people defect from any and everyone else's interest and focus solely on their own. For far too long, under this horrendous condition that we were under, we have been at the forefront of fighting everyone else's campaigns, battles. But now we are being, as the Bible said in the book of the Ecclesiasticus, every nation will return to their own. You're going to return to your own. We are now. That's another thing that's frightening people, that we're getting on code. Finally, and it's coming to that because look, as the late great John Henry Clark said, we don't have no friends here. So now the spirit is also coming into play where we gonna come together as one people, one nation. I know there's some who don't believe in the 12-tribe chart. Okay, that's fine. Well, wherever the 12 tribes of Israel may be, the bulk are here in America right now, we're seeing that reawakening and reassessing and reconnecting. Because at the end, start and end of every day, we're all we have. And it's coming to the point. We're going to see what's going on in El Salvador, Venezuela, Cuba, in certain eastern countries, Ukraine. A civil war, all-out warfare is going to break in this country. It's been brewing for a long time, and I want to make sure those who are listening that we don't incite any kind of sedition. What we are doing is talking about the conditions that are going to bring about the seditious behavior, the outbreak of internal warfare. We're heading towards another lockdown. All right? Make no mistakes about it. The more we take on our independence, the more policies that are being put forth, and now with the Republicans in the House, because they control the Senate and the House. Hey, yo, okay, if indeed, let's say the DJT becomes the Trumpster, the dictator, the king, the Hitler. Let's say he does do that. Let's say he does swing that way. Nobody gonna be safe. Okay. You know, I mean, now I know I'm going to admit that I may be reaching on this one. Is this something I was discussing with a brother in private. We both kind of made the same observation. You know, in the scripture, it speaks about a beast that got wounded but didn't die, and that beast lived and went on to become an absolute demon. Now, there have been other ways of breaking that down, but who's to say that Trump might be that beast? He got injured, he lived, It could be bringing forth a whole lot of, well, you know what? In all honesty, there's both Republican and Democrat, they're still bringing forth the other beast that once lived with the 666 in his name, Ronald Wilson Reagan. So we still are experiencing rapeonomics, as I called it back in the day. They called it Reaganomics. We're still experiencing rapeonomics, Ronald Reagan's policies. But also, I'm gonna hit you to something. You know who else's policies we're also experiencing, where it could come for everybody, as that video, that 17th century video that Karima showed earlier. Now I'm thinking about it now. It just came to me. We're also experiencing former governor of California, Arnold Schwarzenegger's policies. Somebody said, Malachi, what are you talking about? Okay, I'm going to take y'all back in the time, around 2004, 2005. This is when at the height of George W. Bush's and Dick Cheney's reign as president on the Republicans. Does anyone remember when all governors and mayors descended upon California to sit down and converge with Arnold Schwarzenegger, who was the governor in and around that time, if I'm not mistaken? Does anyone remember that? And he came forth, or put forth, in conjunction with former governor, I think, of Cali, Pete Wilson. I want to make sure I ain't got their governing cabinets transposed. But long story short, everyone converged to sit down with Arnold Schwarzenegger under what was being put forth, Proposition 187. Now, if you're familiar with 187, that's a code in California for a law enforcement officer being shot down. Then, Proposition 187, this is what Arnold Schwarzenegger brought into play, or put into play, from former other governors of California. And in that proposition, it was about locking down the infrastructure of a nation, your schools, your municipalities, medical, and all that. But what's my point? Going back to 1976, when Arnold Schwarzenegger was in a documentary called Pumping Iron, Arnold Schwarzenegger was asked, who does he admire the most in the world today, or the world? And Arnold Schwarzenegger said, without missing a beat, that he admires Adolf Hitler. The moderator was stunned when he said Adolf Hitler. And he said, why Adolf Hitler? He said, because here's a man who rose and came into the world in prominence and dominance, having nothing but his determination and focus. Arnold Schwarzenegger, does anyone, is on record, his family were allegedly Nazis, but that was not the first time Arnold Schwarzenegger said he admired Adolf Hitler. But his policies, all the other governors at the time and mayors descended upon California. But who does Arnold Schwarzenegger also admire? Former President Richard Milhouse Nixon, who was super anti-black. Okay? So, I want y'all to make that connection. All these Nazis that are in play, all these laws and what Trump is bringing forth does have a Gestapo ring to it. So y'all brace yourself. We about to see something. But now I see that Smashing Out, you brought up another scripture. Go.
Yeah. And this was just like a precept to go what I was saying with earlier. About, I ain't gonna lie, before I even read the scripture, I just want to say one thing. It's important that we understand, like we got to start with some type of negotiations. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to, you know what I'm saying, who we are as a nation. You feel me? We can't keep doing the same stuff that seem even the slightest familiar. You know what I mean? With what uh our oppressors. I'm not just talking about one specific race of people. I'm talking about all of them. You feel me? uh, and the things that they do. You know what I'm saying? We have to be set apart. We want to be Kodash. You know what I'm saying? So in order for us to do that, we have to understand like something simple like Psalms 94 and 20. It says, "Can wicked rulers be allied with you? Those who frame injustice by statute." Remember earlier I was telling y'all they just they just go about how they just do stuff however they do it, make law by law by law. And it's always going to be, even with this Trump thing, right? I personally, I don't really care, but I don't believe, you know what I'm saying, that stuff that they're saying. You know what I'm saying? Even though I don't care about either side, but we do also know we can't put it past them, because the scriptures tell us that they will frame injustice by statute. You know what I mean? So that would be a certain point of injustice. You feel me? If they did something like that, because we all know we can sit here in silence until somebody comes up with something that these people, the people that they say he gonna quote unquote give reparations to, we we could sit here until somebody says something and have a good idea on why they should have a reparation. You know what I'm saying? So that would be injustice. I don't believe that's happening, but we do still got to keep that stuff in mind. You know what I'm saying? In verse 21, it say they band together against the life of the righteous. You feel me? And condemn the innocent to death. And we know what that means. We've seen it constantly. You know what I'm saying? We don't have to keep going on with names and names and names of our people that fell victim to that. You know what I'm saying? So just keep that stuff in mind. I'm gonna quit preaching, bro, and let you get back to it. Shalom.
Okay, that's the
No,
wrong.
it's
Hold up.
amazing.
Hold up. Respectfully, smashing idol. That's the wrong attitude. When let me clarify. You're not preaching. You're teaching, and this is a multifaceted discourse. Your discourse is welcome. So it's not about you taking over or any. You're coming with logic. You're coming with reasoning, and we welcome it from all spheres. So don't say that you sorry for preaching. No, preach, teach, do what you got to do. That's your gift to this conversation as it continues. I think Brother Shiro, you have something you want to say?
Yeah, no, I was gonna say no, it's amazing, brother. Smash an idol. No, I love the scriptures. Beautiful. And this is what I was gonna say as well. Is obviously because the scriptures say a goodly or godly man leaveth an inheritance as well. So obviously nice time, because I know the brothers out there, they used to do what was called the Million Man Marches, where they would go to DC, million men up, just to show the unity. And that's what I loved about the Afro American, or the black man in America. The unity that brothers had is their strength. But it would be better if that unity, they showed that unity, but they would be better if they will come with like $1 or $2. So if there's like a million brothers out there, and each brother had $2 or $3, that's $3 million. We now can go and start up a little credit union, or start up a little hospital to take care of the people, little supermarkets, a chain of supermarkets, buy some land, and then build up the Black Wall Streets, the Rosewoods, the flipping, what's all these other independent cities that were in America. Like, we need to get back on our grind again, because obviously we can't keep waiting for master to give us handouts. It's not gonna work. Like, you're waiting for the Democrats to do something, promise you something. You're waiting for the Republicans to promise you something. They could annoy you for the next 4 years, or the next 4 years he's in term. He don't have to do anything for you. You can just be sitting there begging. But instead of begging, obviously in America, they say Black Americans, they're the richest set of black people on the earth. No one out earns you guys. 2 trillion a year. Sneakers, hair care, weave, perm, food, all of that. So we're saying what we're saying, we can't sacrifice at least $1. What, there's 50 million black people in the USA. All you have to do is $1, and just for the year, like $1 just for the year, hospitals, everything, so we can be self-sufficient, so that no matter who's in power, we've empowered our own community, so we don't have to worry about who's gonna be the next president, who's gonna we need to start having some self-reliance, and just stop begging the white man. That's all I gotta say.
And what I'm gonna do is say this here. When it's not so much about begging, but your ideals are right. But see, understand, we've done all that before, but without the Most High behind us, first praying to Him to give us the strength and guidance to come forth and do all those things, Brother Shiro, and without a military and preparedness to defend our interests, it's not gonna work, because these savages, they're not gonna let it just go down. And if you build your own, you better be ready to defend it. But I see Karima has another video up. Sister Sherry, I'm gonna come talk to you in about a minute when we come back from this video. Run the video, Karima.
Yeah, those people right up there with all the cameras.
How does Donald Trump follow the Nixon playbook? Consider this press conference from October 1973 in the East Room of the White House.
I have never heard or seen such outrageous, vicious, distorted reporting in 27 years of public life.
What is it about the television coverage of you in these past weeks and months that has so aroused your anger?
Don't get the impression that you arouse my anger. One can only be angry with those he respects.
And here is Donald Trump last January in the very same room.
Tomorrow they will say, Donald Trump rants and raves at the press. I'm not ranting and raving. I'm just telling you, you're dishonest people. But I'm not ranting and raving.
There's something wrong with you. Michelob Ultra, superior like beer.
Here is President Nixon speaking to Secretary of State Henry Kissinger in 1972. Echoed by Donald Trump's infamous tweet, "The fake news media is not my enemy, it is the enemy of the American people."
There is the president.
Nixon resigned from the presidency in the face of obstruction of justice charges. And now Trump is being investigated on the same alleged crime. The Watergate scandal that brought Nixon down began with a break-in at the Democratic National Committee headquarters in 1972. The burglars were caught and tied to the Nixon campaign. The key question came at Senate hearings from Republican Howard Baker.
What did the president know, and when did he know it?
Then came the news that Nixon had secretly taped all the White House sessions in which he methodically planned a cover-up with his close advisors, including paying off the burglars to buy their silence.
Yes, I appreciate that.
In the Oscar-winning movie All the President's Men, Robert Redford and Dustin Hoffman play Washington Post reporters Bob Woodward and Carl Bernstein, who won the Pulitzer Prize for their Watergate coverage. Today, Woodward is writing a book about Donald Trump.
Nixon famously said on those tapes, "It's not the crime that gets you, it's the cover-up." Was he right?
Nixon was wrong. It was the crime of Watergate. It was the war against the system of justice in the United States. This was the clear obstruction of justice. And we have those thousands of hours of tapes which really define Watergate and Nixon and the extent of the crimes.
God damn it, I'm never going to discuss this son of a bitching Watergate thing again. Never, 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 never.
The Nixon presidency had at its center an unstable man.
Historian Tim Naftali was the first independent custodian of the tapes as director of the Nixon Presidential Library.
In terms of temperament, there is a volcanic center to both men. The ranting, the anger, the paranoid concerns, the hatred. With Donald Trump, we have the tweets. We have the tweets that are often just rants. This similarity leads to the next big question, I think, which is, will Donald Trump engage in Nixonian activities?
In private, Nixon wanted Teamsters to go out and physically attack protesters, whereas Trump expressed the same attitude in public.
If you see somebody getting ready to throw a tomato, knock the crap out of them, would you? Seriously.
An attempt is being made. Connecticut Senator Lowell Weicker became famous as a moderate Republican on the Watergate Committee who eventually turned against Richard Nixon.
That the scope of the committee's mandate goes far beyond Watergate.
Today, he is waiting to see evidence before coming to any judgment about Donald Trump.
I started out as a Richard Nixon lover, and it was only after I had facts in hand that I turned the other way. So I'm not willing to go ahead and impose a different set of standards on Donald Trump, and I just don't have those facts.
But Weicker is ready to judge arguments that have been put forward by Mr. Trump's lawyers in the Russia collusion investigation, such as the notion that the president could not commit obstruction of justice by exercising powers granted to him under the U.S. Constitution. That echoes an old Nixon argument.
Well, when the president does it, that means that it is not illegal.
Nonsense. It's nonsense. I thought it was nonsense then, nonsense now. The lawyers don't speak for the Constitution of the United States or the people of this country. No man in this nation is above the law.
When you look at what's gone on with the FBI and with the Justice Department, people are very, very angry.
Donald Trump regularly attacks the FBI and the special counsel investigation. Trump said to the New York Times that former FBI Director Robert Mueller would be acting improperly if he starts looking into the finances of the Trump Organization.
Now, of course, Trump is suggesting that Mueller would cross a red line if he starts looking at the family finances and his tax returns.
Well, that's too bad for him. I mean, I think Mueller has every right to do that.
I think Mueller has to go there, and it would not be like him or like federal prosecutors to kind of say, oh, we're not going to look in that corner. They look in every corner.
That the work will continue.
Of course, there is widespread speculation that Trump will just fire Robert Mueller,
6 FBI agents present.
echoing the famous Saturday Night Massacre when Nixon fired Watergate Special Prosecutor Archibald Cox, along with the Attorney General and his deputy.
The country tonight is in the midst of what may be the most serious constitutional crisis in its history.
The political impact of the Saturday Night Massacre was giant because there was a sense of, hey, Nixon's firing the person who's investigating him. That led to the impeachment inquiry.
Oh, I think if Trump fired Bob Mueller, he'd be in deep you-know-what.
Is that what happened with Nixon?
Yeah. By the time the House of Representatives met to discuss the matter of impeachment, his goose was already cooked.
You see this house in Florida? Well, let me show you how I invested into it with just a few $100. Plus,
All those in favor? Please signify.
By all accounts, there was much more bipartisanship in the Nixon era. In the end, the evidence against the president caused many congressmen in his own party to vote for his impeachment.
Mr. Cohen.
Could that happen today?
The Republicans run the House, the Senate, and the White House. The best thing that we could have happen is in 2018 to have the Democrats take control of one house. Doesn't have to be two. One's fine.
Oh, my goodness. If the Democrats take one of the houses of Congress, let alone both of them, one can anticipate public hearings. I'm not saying that you can anticipate impeachment. It's a tough political process that will require a lot of Republican support for it to happen. But you'll have public hearings. It's going to be on television and on the web all the time. And that would have an eroding effect on President Trump's support and his legitimacy, just as it did for Richard Nixon.
What, in your view, finally kind of turned Nixon's allies against him?
Great question. Nixon, from the Watergate burglary to the resignation was 2 years, 2 months, and it was continual drip, drip, drip of tapes, evidence, testimony, memoirs, people doing television interviews. It was a giant barrage of evidence.
If Nixon had burned those White House tapes, do you think he would have survived?
He definitely would have survived. You need, in an investigation like this, a path to proof. Those tapes were proof. If you don't have that path, it's hard.
Even if the Democrats take control of the House of Representatives in the midterm elections this year, and if the House then votes for impeachment, it would still take a 2/3 vote in the Senate to actually remove Trump from office. With today's Republican Party, that possibility seems quite remote.
And there is the president waving goodbye.
But considering how fast Nixon's support from his own party melted, it's not impossible. For The National, I'm Terrence McKenna in Washington.
Okay, we are back, Karima. Every time I think you have reached your plateau of amazing me, you go and do it again. Hey, yo, where did you pull that up? Amazing. Hey, yo. Oh, wow.
Yeah, she killed that. She killed that shit.
What? Word. Damn. Oh, man. But now, let me go back to the comment section. I'm coming for you, Sherry. I'm coming for you. Let me get right to it. Let's get into it. Sherry Bless or Bloss says, I guess you were talking to me. You apparently have no comprehension skills. Trump is going after the child trafficking. He has been the only president that is. It's in our government in Hollywood. All of it is coming out. All the victims that are alive, Biden, Obama, Clinton, all part of the trafficking. Ally Carter fingers are still messed up from the abuse. The rape, Trump knows, but you cannot prosecute a sitting president. He's waiting. Oprah, Zuckerberg, Diddy, Beyonce. Why does nobody care about kids being sold? And you stop. But let me just say this to you, Sherry. The thing is, right? What we're about here on this platform, if someone disagrees or whatever, we can be corrected, but we don't want to be disrespected. Questioning our intellectual capacities is not necessary. If there's something that you think that we're missing, you're more than welcome to correct us, but don't disrespect. Okay, we don't play that here. Don't question no one's capabilities here. And let me move on. 1968. You wild. Arnold Schwarzenegger is really Nero of ancient Rome. Indigenous black man. Nixon equals war on drugs. Trump equals war on drugs and immigrants. Evolution. Yo, gotcha. And yo, that video, you killed it, Kareem. You killed it, for real. All right? That's a heavy correlation, analogy, and all that. But still, our boy Richard Milhouse, I am not a crook. Nixon was hella dangerous. And again, but you know what? They're all on the Nazi plantation. They all from the they all cut from the Nazi, groove. They all are advocates of Adolf Hitler Schickelgruber. And all these policies, like I said, go back, do your homework, check it out for yourself. All right? And to Sherry, as far as that, the allegation of the child trafficking, that remains to be seen. We see a lot going on now. We got our friend Sean Diddy Combs, being made the poster child for everything that's, freaky and offbeat in the world today, which is what I'm sick of too. I'm sick of that also. I'm not advocating or whatever, but I am tired of, black folks always being made the poster child of everything wrong in America. You go back 25, 30 years ago, you had the world locked in on Orenthal James Simpson, better known as O.J. Simpson, and he was the poster boy for domestic violence in this country. When his, ex-wife Nicole Brown Simpson was savagely murdered, along with her pal, her friend Mark Goldman. But that video, like it brought back memories, but at the same time, it just shows that as the Bible said, there is nothing new under the sun. Although I do agree, I will not apologize. I do see mainstream media being the enemy of we the people, though. I do agree with that wholeheartedly. Their name alone, media, MEDIA, the most evil devil in America. And the way in these last 30 years or better, with the twisting of the FCC, Federal Communications Commission, when Michael Powell, the son of Colin Powell, former Secretary of Defense, Colin Powell, Michael Powell, when he was the head of the Federal Communications Commission, lifted all limitations for big media conglomerates to gobble up every piece of television, print, and audio news feeds. He lifted a ban where they could just come in and take over everything. It's been slow going, but those of you who are listening, you better appreciate mediums like the Lion's Den and other voices out there. I shout them out. Yeah, Philip Scott, Professor Black Truth, Torian Rain, Sister Deborah, along with Sister Lisa Cabrera. We have other voices out there that are just Sabby Sabs, Pink Book Lessons. Yo, there are a lot of voices out here that's dropping it in their own sphere and talent, God-given talent. You better appreciate these mediums, because it's been a long and slow grind to try and take out all independent forms of media. And what do I mean by that? Going back to when Michael Powell, in around 2005, lifted the ban. See, in order for lies to work, in order for a system to be able to work, it must be able to control the minds of the people. Media has always been the way to control many people. So, by using the media, the power of influence, the power of information, it has always been the strongest way through yellow journalism, propaganda, and spin machines to control the minds of the people. And for a long time, here in America in particular, it worked. It worked like a charm. But as we moved into what is called the age of Aquarius and the age of information, now more than ever we see the importance of having independent media sources that are not bought and paid for to be able to counter the lies that are put forth. And it's been a determination to try to knock out any and all platforms out here. That's why you should cherish the sacrifices that those of us who make up the Lion's Den make to come here and be an independent source and a fair source, an unbiased source, and just drop it like it's supposed to be dropped in pure, unadulterated truth division and facts. So with that being said, can we have another video you want to pull up? Go to work and let's close it out. Get ready to close it out.
So peace, shalom, elder.
These are the people that's spitting that Trump's supposed to be the savior and he's here to stop the pedophile. Trump ain't did nothing. These people are actually the ones that's been behind the scenes doing the work and all that type of stuff. But they try to use Trump as a face of their movement. But it's a lot of people that's behind exposing this child pornography, ring, like the Pizzagate and, the different things that they was doing. But these people and other organizations behind it, but they tried to say Trump is the one that's going to save the day. So this is where they got that information at from them. But Trump ain't the one that said nothing about saving kids, doing all this other type of shit. His focus has been the border and all this type of stuff. But these are the people that actually has been going after these pedophiles, these rings, the Q or whatever they call it, whatever.
Yeah, so I just want to say peace, Elder Malachi, Sister Karima, Smasher Idol, the Sword is King. I'm gonna be logging up, signing off now, but it was very interesting build, very good build, and I'll definitely be back on the Lions Den very soon. Thank you, but I need to sleep. Thank you, guys.
Cheerio, mate, and thank you for coming.
The movement appears to be gaining a lot of followers. Can you talk about what you think about that and what you have to say to people who are following this movement right now?
Well, movement other than
the QAnon movement appears to be gaining a lot of followers. Can you talk about what you think about that and what you have to say to people who are following this movement right now?
Well, I don't know much about the movement other than I understand they like me very much, which I appreciate, but I don't know much about the movement. I have heard that it is gaining in popularity, and from what I've heard, these are people that when they watch the streets of Portland, when they watch what happened in New York City in just the last 6 or 7 months, but this was starting even 4 years ago when I came here, almost 4 years, can you believe it? These are people that don't like seeing what's going on in places like Portland and places like Chicago and New York and other cities and states. And I've heard these are people that love our country and they just don't like seeing it. So I don't know really anything about it other than they do supposedly like me.
The crux of the theory is this belief that
Okay, very good, Karima. So QAnon is where they got that, is where they're getting that from. Let me read off.
And he ain't had nothing to do with it.
Thank you, Karima. Thank you very much. So, Sherry, if you're still listening now, you've been corrected. Okay, you've been summarily and absolutely corrected. And not disrespect. We cover what I told you before. We cover all bases here. What I don't know, somebody else knows. And we're going to find it out and sniff it out. So with that being said, hey, yo, Indigenous Black Man says, it's not the Nazis, baby Hebrew. It's eugenics, COINTELPRO. Yeah, the COINTEL's program.
I want to show that, but it was gonna get too deep. So I wanted to take it somewhere else, but it's all in the Nixon plan. It's all in the all-in president plan. But it really goes back to that. But I couldn't line it up right, and they wouldn't. And TikTok wouldn't let me get these videos I needed to. Anyways, go ahead.
Yo, when we go heavy, we go heavy. And this is what's, and I'm gonna say this to you, and I'm saying it very seriously. This is what scares mainstream media. That you have sources like us. Here we are, David, and they're Goliath. And with the power of the Lord behind us, with his hand in our backs, we're coming with all.
Because I want to show, I really want to show again another person who's behind exposing this pedophile ring. So keep talking.
Okay, you know I'm gonna talk then. You got it. So we come with the slingshots. We're coming with the slingshots, and we're coming with the bows and the weapons of war. Because the weapon of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through God. And here we are now pulling down all lies, subterfuge, and stronghold with the divine biblical truth. Whether you like it or not, believe it or not, or want to accept it or not. As Ric Flair would say. So we coming with the woo, and we making sure that and we come with, our I's dotted and our T's crossed. And when you put the I and T together, you get the word it. Because it's imperative that we cover our bases. It's imperative that we come here with the truth. It's imperative because we want to make sure that you out there that's listening, you can walk away knowing that there's an independent source of information that you can come to, and we ain't being paid, we ain't being bent over and told what we can and cannot say. And that's how it's supposed to be. I think, Smash Nato, you were getting ready to say something. Go ahead on.
Hey, no, I was just gonna say after, since the sister Karima do it thing, I wanted to bring something out earlier from earlier too. That's all.
Well, she's queuing up the video, so bring it out. Smash is on you. She's queuing up the video. While she's doing that, you're more than welcome to bring out what you're going to bring out. Well, if not now, I'm gonna keep it on. I'm gonna keep it going. Let me go back out. 1968 says, when Moses freed the Israelites in Egypt and got them safely across the Red Sea. Are you ready? Smash, are you ready? Oh, well, let me go back. When Moses freed
No, bro, I didn't hear nothing you said, bro.
Oh, you didn't? I was saying it. If you want to bring out something, you're more than welcome to bring it out right now. But I see she has the video queued. So when we come back, the ball will be in your court, okay?
Yeah, this is the one that actually been exposing the pedophiles. Okay. Especially in Hollywood.
I started covering local politics and local hard news. And then eventually I got my own column for 7 years where I interviewed tons of celebrities and politicians and musicians and worked at Us Weekly. And then at one point I worked at In Touch Weekly magazine. But then in 2015, I felt the need to get back into covering hard news. And in early 2016, I started working for Town Hall, and then eventually I started working for the New York Observer and broke a lot of election-related stories. I worked in media for over 2 decades, and I never had any issues. I was very well respected. I basically was embraced by the mainstream media until I started reporting on Pizzagate. Now, when Pizzagate came out, the media tried to turn Pizzagate into something that wasn't.
Surprises of the presidential campaign was the explosion of fake news on the internet.
28-year-old Edgar Welch was arrested in Washington Sunday afternoon outside Comet Ping Pong, a popular family pizza parlor. D.C. police say Welch fired at least 1 round into the restaurant floor with an AR-15 rifle like this one on his Facebook page. No one was injured.
Someone on Twitter, whose name remains unverified but has several thousand followers, posted that new emails found on Anthony Weiner's computer confirmed that Hillary Clinton was involved in a pedophilia ring. The rumor spread, inspiring some newfound internet sleuths to start digging around in John Podesta's hacked emails, searching for proof and location of the so-called sex ring.
In those emails, they are absolutely littered with code words. And many of these code words are food words, such as pizza.
Somebody said to me, "Hey, Dave, search for pizza in Podesta's emails. And once you go down that rabbit hole, you never really emerge the same person."
It was obvious from the get-go that these words were code words for something else because the context that they were used in did not make sense.
To be clear, not one single email in the Podesta emails discusses child sex trafficking or pedophilia. That is a fact. But there are dozens of what seem to be strangely worded emails dealing with pizza and handkerchiefs. Investigators say that those words in the emails about pizza and the talk of handkerchiefs is code language used by pedophiles.
There is some kind of code language. They're just not talking about pizza, folks. Who phrases that? Who blocks out an hour of time to eat a slice of pizza?
You can get a service for a half an hour, you can get a massage for a half an hour, but you can't get food for a half an hour. It just absolutely makes no sense.
There's other ones like, the realtor found a handkerchief. I think it has a map that seems pizza related. And another one is, Obama spent $65,000 flying in pizza and hot dogs from Chicago. Are we using the same channels?
Pizza is a well-known pedophile code word that actually has been used by law enforcement to arrest online sexual predators of children. And there's been multiple arrests that have been made by law enforcement of pedophiles trying to solicit children by using the pedophile code word pizza.
2007, unclassified FBI document. That document, according to the FBI, contains commonly used symbols by pedophiles to express their preference in children. Notice this one on the end, the triangle. That image signifies something called boy love. The pizza place next door to Comet Ping Pong Pizza, Besta Pizza, well, this was their logo until only a few weeks ago.
People don't know that because the mainstream media refuses to cover it.
The entire mainstream media redefined what Pizzagate was to make it sound ridiculous and less believable. And then they had people like Megyn Kelly come in, interview James Alefantis, didn't ask him any challenging questions.
A conspiracy theory that even the DC police say has no basis in fact.
She didn't ask him any questions about the pictures of children on his Instagram page looking abused, being sexualized. She didn't ask him about the pedophile talk. So the whole mainstream media painted him as this poor victim, as this person that was innocent, that was just victimized, as something that wasn't true. But just his Instagram page alone should have been enough for authorities to look into him.
Investigators have already proven there's nothing to the story, right? Well, actually, no. And that's what you need to know. For all that is here, there has not been one single public investigation of any of this, not from local police, not from the FBI, no one. And that has to be the big question, not for Podesta or for pizza parlor owners, but for law enforcement. Based on what may be or may not be here, the big question is, why hasn't any investigation taken place?
This is insane.
So many people in the mainstream media have said Pizzagate is a conspiracy theory. Pizzagate has been debunked. It has not been debunked. If it's been debunked, explain the code words. No one to this day, including John Podesta himself, can explain the code words in his emails.
Hey, John Podesta, can you please explain why you have children rented for entertainment for your adult hot tub parties? No one has ever explained why John Podesta has literal pedophile and cannibalism paintings all over his office and his home. Tony Podesta too. And then you look into the spirit cooking dinners, and you look into Marina Abramovic, who's the one that was conducting the spirit cooking dinners. Why are they going to spirit cooking dinners? Why are they sacrificing chickens to Moloch in their backyard? This isn't my words. This is their words. This is in their emails.
I'd be willing to debate anyone who thinks that Pizzagate has been debunked.
You asked me when how am I getting additional briefings? That was the first and last time I talked.
So October 9th is the last time you have heard from the FBI at all.
Yes.
You have not got an update on the investigation to your personal email.
That is correct.
So not only did the mainstream media lie to you about Pizzagate, they actually told you that it was illegal to read John Podesta's emails on WikiLeaks. Chris Cuomo, with a straight face on CNN, looked into the cameras and said, it's illegal for you to read John Podesta's emails.
Also interesting is, remember, it's illegal to possess these stolen documents. It's different for the media. So everything you learn about this, you're learning from us.
That's how scared they are of those emails. And that's how explosive the content in those emails are. That they felt the need that they had to tell you, you could not read those emails. And if you do, you might get arrested. Lie.
It's different for the media. So everything you learn about this, you're learning from us.
People that blow the whistle on elite pedophiles tend to have accidents. And a lot of those people have died mysteriously.
NBC News has learned that disgraced financier Jeffrey Epstein is dead. Epstein took his own life while he was behind bars.
There's absolutely no excuse for this. What happened here, to me, is mind-boggling. The guy was a high-risk prisoner, wasn't he? I mean, he's a guy that there are probably 50 very important people that have a motive to kill him. We don't even know who they are. It's true. But we know there are some people that are in a lot of trouble because of Epstein. They know who they are.
His flight logs contain names of some of the biggest, most famous, and most powerful people on the planet. Members of the royal family, Prince Andrew, models like Naomi Campbell, famous actors like Kevin Spacey, Bill Clinton on those flight logs over 25 times. Hillary Clinton, she's also been to the island. So the bigger question is, how many people that went on his private jet, that went to his private island, that went to his massive ranch in New Mexico were also involved in the rape, torture, and trafficking of children?
It hides in plain sight. Epstein was hiding in plain sight. We all knew about him. We all knew what he was doing. But we had no one that was, legal aspect that would go after him. They were afraid of him. For whatever reason, they were afraid of him.
And the amazing thing about Cindy McCain is that her husband was a senator. She was on a board with the governor of Texas. She knew about Jeffrey Epstein. She did nothing. And her organization, the role of her organization is supposed to be to stop people like Jeffrey Epstein. They all knew. They did nothing about it. When Ricky Gervais said at the Golden Globes, you're all friends with Jeffrey Epstein, he wasn't lying.
So in the end, he obviously didn't kill himself, just like Jeffrey Epstein. Shut up. I know he's your friend, but I don't care. You had to make your own way here in your own plane, didn't you? Right. But
and how many of those elites have been to his island? Not only is the mainstream media complicit, I would argue that there are accessories in the crimes against children.
She told me everything. She had pictures. She had everything. She was in hiding for 12 years. We convinced her to come out. We convinced her to talk to us. It was unbelievable what we had. Clinton, we had everything. I tried for 3 years to get it on, to no avail, and now it's all coming out, and it's like these new revelations, and I freaking had all of it. I'm so pissed right now. Like every day I get more and more pissed because I'm just like, oh my God, what we had was unreal. Brad Edwards, the attorney, 3 years ago, saying there will come a day when we will realize Jeffrey Epstein was the most prolific pedophile this country has ever known. I had it all 3 years ago.
Then what happened in early 2018? Keith Raniere, who ran the NXIVM child sex trafficking cult, was arrested. Who else was arrested? Allison Mack. She's a famous celebrity who was on Smallville. She was also arrested for being a member of this cult that was involved in trafficking children. And not only trafficking children, they were running preschools down in Mexico. And NXIVM is another example of how these elite pedophile rings exist, because this was a massive organization. This was funded by really wealthy people, including the Seagram heiresses, Nancy Salzman and Claire Bronfman. So obviously they were using those preschools to traffic children. And the cult also engaged in human torture experiments on some of their members. And there actually was a civil lawsuit that was filed by 90 of their victims just the other day. So I imagine we are going to hear more about the human experiments, the torturing, the sexual abuse, and the child sex trafficking in this civil lawsuit. And a lot of the techniques that we see in this cult are very similar to the techniques that our government used in the MK Ultra program.
He was branding women with Keith's initials, and they were like, well, what's the bad thing exactly about that? Everyone in the outside world, aka the real world, is like, they're branding women. So I left. I went to the executive board and I said, I want my photos back. I want my videos back. The branding session was filmed. I want all of that back. I want my collateral back. None of that happened.
And it's the same fear, mind control, and you'll be destroyed if you get into the upper.
All right, and we're back. We're back.
And that video very deep. I just went to the kind of like the end, but it's deep. It goes to a lot of stuff. So I normally play that video when we're dealing with the conversations.
But that's deep. Wow, Karima. Wow, man. Oh Lord. And I thought NAMBLA, the North American Man Boy Love Association, was bad. God damn. Oh my God. See, sometimes I gotta say, there's an old adage that goes, some questions are left best unanswered. But in this case, we gotta uncover everything. The Lord said that we're living in a time where all things are gonna be revealed. And here we are. Wow. Okay. Now, Smashing Island, you waited patiently. That video is
Hey, I ain't gonna cap. I'm good, bro. That need to be left right there for everybody. That's an impelling idea. They can think about that. I'm straight. We can talk about that other topic another time. That's some serious stuff. It can be stayed right there.
Well, this is only now confirming. When I think about Jaguar Wright, when I think about Orlando Brown, when I think about the late actor Corey Haim, and you have Corey Feldman, Todd Bridges. We talking about Lindsay. Okay. All the Disney stars. I forget her name. Lindsay Lohan, Shia LaBeouf, Ali Boff, Britney Spears, And the list go, all these Disney kids and everybody, all these child stars who are out their minds. And now this video, normally I'm never at a loss of words, but I'm just stunned right now. They're being confirmed and they're being.
Hey.
Oh, go ahead, Smash.
So my question is, like, for Cooking with Billy, what makes him think that this thing just is pointed towards one race of people? We dealing with the border of wickedness we're talking about. We're not talking about no white man. We're not talking about no brown man. We ain't talking about no red man. We talking about wicked people, the wicked ones that have the gate key. You know what I'm saying? The pizza. You feel what I'm saying? This not just about no Mexican children getting trafficked. I know children that done winded up missing, and they parents to this day still like, well, I'm talking about real life. So this ain't about no Mexicans or whites or black. It's about the children, period. Like, when are people gonna realize, like, there's a difference between our culture and what we supposed to be embedded in, and then it's also about pointing out the total wickedness in the world, period, that keeps this cycle of Satanism, so to speak, going on. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you have a chosen people, you have a people that are, so to speak, the devil's children, but then you have the innocent ones that go about this. I mean, that have to go about this, that you just trying to put on just one certain race of people. Like, we trying to say, oh, Trump want to evacuate all the Mexicans and this is what it's about. No, because Trump want to evacuate all the blacks too. If he could
speak on it,
bro.
Speak on it.
Go ahead, baby, bro. I'm done, bro.
Hold on, Smash. You can't start something and then not finish. You got it. Like Kareem just said, speak on it, man. This is your time. Speak. It's not about who speak. It's about the word and what is going to come out correct, clear. This is your time. Speak, please.
I mean, that's
we listening.
That's it. I mean, it ain't really nothing else to say. You know what I'm saying? You can't just sit there and try to make it seem like we being on some pro black power stuff and we against only one side. Nah, this is about, if we really want to get to the nitty gritty and the sister bringing out what these people doing, this is the thing, because we talk about another generation of people now. You know what I'm saying? If you got these children being taken by their parents on not their parents' own will, and they're not their will either, and then they growing up with this mindset, they think that it's cool. Like, you got to think about it. All right, I ain't trying to be conspiracy or nothing, but like, when you think about like certain clothing brand people, right? It start with a T. We ain't gonna put it all out there, but we gonna say it start with a T. And I'm pretty sure at least black people, if any, don't nobody else know who I'm talking about, the Chinese people that got the T app, you know what I'm saying? You think about that and you're like, well, wait a minute. How can I just type in something and they have it, but they supposed to be like the second in America? Why America ain't got an app that we could just go order clothes or order whatever, you know what I'm saying, and we can get it? And you got to think about, well, what is it coming from? It has to come from some energetic people that are open-minded and only will adapt to what they're being taught in a way, you know what I'm saying? So only thing we can think about is children doing this. Like, it ain't just about, oh, these children, man, where are they at? Where are the children that are missing at? You know what I'm saying? Are you ignorantly and not knowingly appropriating and purchasing things, so you know what I'm saying, that could be embedded in child trafficking? And we dealing with some people. Come on, man. You gonna tell me most of our stuff come from, when we look on the tag of our stuff, it say it come from a certain place. And then we look at certain people that certain kids, I mean, that wind up missing. I mean, come on, bro. It's obvious, bro, that all type of children are being taken and they're not returning. It ain't got nothing to do with no certain race, bro. That's one thing people kill me because they try to make it seem like the Israelites is only about race. Nah, bro. I'm done, bro.
And I'm gonna say this to you. You're absolutely right, and I'm glad I was, I encourage you to speak on, because you said something that now got me thinking. See, this is someone else said it in the audience. See, this has been going on since the 80s. Well, I'm gonna respectfully correct you, but let me use your name. I give credit where credit is due. This is to who is it? Who said this since the 80s? Let me find out. Oh yeah, Cooking with Billy said it. All right, so Cooking with Billy, you right, Sister A. But I'm gonna take you back to, some of y'all probably were just born in this time frame, but we're gonna go back in the time, starting in 1978, going into 1979, and in 1981. Oh no, 82. Does anyone remember what was called the Atlanta child murders? Does anyone remember how 45 black boys? Well, the first wave was 30 black boys who were systematically kidnapped and found dead, or some of them were never found again. I know the world would have you think that one lone killer, Wayne Williams, committed all those murders, but that would be absolutely impossible. But I'm making a point. In that time frame, you had the late leader of the CORE, the Congress of Racial Equality. His name in life was Roy Ennis. He and a group of other concerned members of that organization were the ones who busted wide open what was going on in that time frame and what would become known as the Atlanta child murders. And systematically, week after week after week, black boys were being snatched off the streets. Okay? And then when Wayne Williams supposedly got caught, they stopped for a minute, but then they started back up again. And another 15 children. Now, while Wayne Williams was in prison for the first wave, 15 more kids wound up being killed down there. What's my point? You right? This has been going on since the 80s, and it's not just a Mexican, it's a black thing, it's a white thing, it's a children are all across the board, and we able to look at any and every one, because wrong is wrong no matter what race is put upon. And this is just maniacal, diabolical, and every other kind of adjective you can come up with to describe what is evil.
And I want to prove this through the script. I want to prove this through the script.
By all means,
apologize.
No, don't apologize. Go.
I want to prove it through the scripture that we, the type of people we dealing with. You know what I'm saying? Joel 3:3. And they have cast lots for my people, and have given a boy for an harlot, and sold a girl for wine, that they may drink. Yea, and what have ye to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon, and all the coasts of Palestine? Will you render me a recompense? And if you recompense me swiftly and speedily, will I return your recompense upon your head. This verse 3 of Joel chapter 3, it's showing you right here the people that we're dealing with. If they still ruling, it's the wicked. They have to fit every attribute of being wicked. So right here, it shows you we're not being conspiracy theorists or anything. They are doing what we're talking about right now as we speak. They've been doing it. That's it.
And that's an excellent scripture that breaks down Tyre, the Greeks, Zidon, and all the Arab nations of that time who were all in what is called the triangular slave trade. And how do you make a boy a harlot? By buck breaking. It was called buck breaking. It was called, other names too, but they raped our little boys and girls, and that's how they did it. All right. If you go back to movies like Mandingo, Roots, I forget what movie it was. It was one scene, and it disturbed me, where the white man had a black child kneeling, had his foot on the child because he was trying to heal his rheumatoid arthritis by believing he could draw power from the child's body to do so. So I see Kareem. Oh, she went and looked for it. Let's see what Karima got for us on the Atlanta child murders. Let me know when you're ready, Karima. You ready?
The Atlanta murders of 1979 to 1981, sometimes called the Atlanta child murders, were a series of murders committed in Atlanta, Georgia, between July 1979 and May 1981. Over the 2-year period, at least 28 children, adolescents, and adults were killed. Wayne Williams, an Atlanta native who was 23 years old at the time of the last murder, was arrested, tried, and convicted of 2 of the adult murders and sentenced to 2 consecutive life terms. Police subsequently have attributed a number of the child murders to Williams, although he has not been charged in any of those cases, and Williams himself maintains his innocence. In March 2019, the Atlanta police, under the order of Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms, reopened the cases in hopes that new technology will lead to a conviction. In the middle of 1979, Edward Hope Smith, also known as Teddy, and Alfred Evans, also known as Q, both 14, disappeared 4 days apart. Terry Pugh, who later went missing in early 1981, lived in the same apartment as Smith. Their bodies were both found on July 28th in a wooded area. Smith with a .22 caliber gunshot wound in his upper back. They were believed to be the first victims of the putative Atlanta child killer. On September 4th, the next victim, 14-year-old Milton Harvey, disappeared while on an errand to the bank for his mother. He was riding a yellow 10-speed bike, which was found a week later in a remote area of Atlanta. His body was not recovered until November of that year. On October 21st, 9-year-old Yusuf Bell went to a store to buy Brutton snuff for a neighbor, Eula Birdsong, at Reese Grocery on McDonald Street. A witness said she saw Yusuf near the intersection of McDaniel and Fulton, getting into a blue car before he disappeared. His body was found on November 8th in the abandoned E.P. Johnson Elementary School by a school janitor who was looking for a place to urinate. Bell's body was found clothed in the brown cutoff shorts he was last seen wearing, though they had a piece of masking tape stuck to them. He had been hit over the head twice, and the cause of death was strangulation. Police did not immediately link his disappearance to the previous killings. On March 4th, 1980, the first female victim, 12-year-old Angel Lanier, disappeared. She left her house around 4 p.m. wearing a denim outfit and was last seen at a friend's house watching the television program Sanford and Son. Lanier's body was found 6 days later in a wooded vacant lot along Campbell-Belton Road, wearing the same clothes in which she had left home. A pair of white panties that did not belong to Lanier were stuffed in her mouth, and her hands were bound with an electrical cord. The cause of death was strangulation. On March 11th, 1 week after Lanier's disappearance, 11-year-old Jeffrey Mathis disappeared while on an errand for his mother. He was wearing gray jogging pants, brown shoes, and a white and green shirt. Months later, a girl said she saw him get into a blue car with a light-skinned man and a dark-skinned man. The body of Jeffrey Mathis was found in a briar-covered patch of woodlands 11 months after he disappeared, by which time it was not possible to identify a cause of death. On May 18th, 14-year-old Eric Middlebrooks disappeared. He was last seen answering the telephone at home and then leaving in a hurry on his bicycle, taking with him a hammer to repair the bicycle. His body was found the following day next to his bicycle in the rear garage of an Atlanta bar. The bar was located next door to what was then the Georgia Department of Offender Rehabilitation. His pockets were turned inside out. His chest and arms had slight stab wounds. and the cause of death was determined to be blunt force trauma to the head. A few weeks before he disappeared, Middlebrooks had testified against 3 juveniles in a robbery.
It's like the person, unaliving these people for who? Like the system, so they can get these baby parts, because you know what I mean? It's the same mode. I mean, it's like the same MO, but there's no, like, really no sexual assault. They just, killing the babies. You feel me?
Okay.
Sick. Hey, this is sick, bro. But I ain't trying to be controversial or nothing, but and I don't even really be looking at comments when I be on panel. But hey, cooking with Billy, bro. Come on, bro. You sat there and said, I never said it was only Mexican children. I'm just saying that people all over the world would go to Mexico to molest children. It's been known. So I don't know what you mean by that, but let me share my screen real fast. But if you trying to if you trying to say, like, what I'm saying, once again, because I know how people be trying to switch the script and shit, like they not saying what they saying. If you trying to say that, what I'm saying, more of your Mexican children be getting, traffic and everything, we gonna go to this right here, right? Racial and gender disparities in the sex trade, right? I'm gonna let it sit here, and it says, in a 2-year review of all suspected human trafficking incidents across the country, sex trafficking victims were female, 40% were Black, and 24% were Latinx. You see what I'm saying? That's one. And if anybody can read faster, then they can see that I'm sitting it here, so they can see the information. And then we go down to child sex trafficking survivors are disproportionately girls of color. In King County, Washington, 52% of all child sex trafficking victims are Black, and 84% youth victims are females, through Black girls only comprise 1.1% of the general population. In whatever that is, whatever County, Oregon, 95% of youth victims are females, and 27% of child sex victims are Black. Though Black people comprise less, 6% of the population. In Louisiana, 49% of child sex trafficking victims are Black girls, though Black girls comprise only 90% of Louisiana's youth population. So come on, bro. You whatever senses you trying to make, it's not that, bro. And then we go on, we see right here, sex buyers are disproportionately white men. You know what I'm saying? Now, it ain't like we trying to color base or race bang or anything, but it's right here. This source right here this is not me. You know what I'm saying? What does this say? Women and girls of color bear, because I ain't gonna cap with you. You kind of getting to me, because it's like, I got daughters. You feel me? And I know, according to the scriptures, the people that fit the curses, we are more prominent to wind up having these type things happen to us and our children. You know what I'm saying? And it must be, apparently it's mostly our women, bro. You know what I'm saying? So that's a problem with me. Right here it says, women and girls of color bear the brunt of prostitution arrests, often domestic victims of sex trafficking. Here we go again. You know what I'm saying? It's about the children too. But when you mess with our women, you messing with our children. You know what I'm saying? And sex trafficking is survivors of sexual exploitation, particularly those of color, are not acknowledged as victims. This is madness. Not acknowledged as victims of crime, and are instead arrested for prostitution related offenses. By contrast, and this what I was saying earlier about children that just wind up missing and then they wind up getting taken, given to somebody. They train them a certain way, and then now this is a mentality, and we were, well, oh, our black women are whores. No, a lot of times they don't speak out, and I could pull up sources on that too that show that a lot of our women don't speak out when stuff like this is happening to them. They just live on about anyway, bro. Man, never mind. I'm done, bro. Cause man, go ahead, man. Y'all go, bro. Man, I'm done, bro. This, bro, I'm getting shitty, bro. I'm done. Yahweh Kai, bro.
Well, Smashing Idol, I'm sorry. Don't get thrown off. You're doing wonderful, and this contribution is beautiful. And thank you, Linus, for bringing up the Atlanta child murders and and some of the specifics on that. Hanaya Sha'al, you said it, and Karima just made mention of it too. People and their parts be sold on the dark web. This world is dark, but then again, way back then we didn't have the World Wide Web at that time. But you know, a lot of these boys' bodies and the girls that were in the United Child murders were found. You know, they were basically desecrated. Yeah, 1968. I agree. Wayne Williams definitely got a raw deal, no doubt. All right, Cooking with Billy, you did say that you're not saying who gets molested more. WTF? Okay, that's not what you're saying. All right, but still, you know, look, we just bringing it out. Point, counterpoint. We bring it out. Concise, what we agree upon. Then we just give a different dynamic and all around balanced outlook on things. So, you know, still, you know, this stuff is just eye opening. Okay. Oh wow. We're coming up on 4 hours. So how about this, y'all? Much as I love doing this, and I really enjoy this, we have to bring it to an end now, y'all. Okay? But there's always, if we make it in the immortal words of Little Orphan Annie, tomorrow, we love ya tomorrow. And we'll do it tomorrow, y'all. So, in parting, you have all been thoroughly informed and entertained here in the Lion's Den in the segment we call The Conversation Continues, and the conversation is going to continue. I want to thank the Lord in Christ from whom all positive thoughts flow. I'm going to have to go make up for my boy, you know, when I get off this broadcast. But listen, I want to thank Dominic Liddell, Smashing Idol. Thank you very much for coming on the panel. I want to thank Multi-Generational Mulatto, Jeshurun Run, Christopher the Lawful, Plus Beats, Cooking with Billy, Tyrone Adanaya, Hanaya Yasharal. Thank you very much too, sister. Thank you very much for your contributions. And always, 1968, you bring the heat. And then TNBN. And as always, Indigenous Black Man. It's gonna be a running joke. Hey, hey. Thank you very much, sir. And as always, we thank the Lioness at the control tower for making sure that any turbulence on this flight was abated and knocked out the box. Now, on one hand, we are Brother Yeshayada, and I am Brother Malachi. Okay? We're going to come back to you all. And and as we sign off, I always say, yo, don't take our word for anything. Always get up off your duff and check things out for yourself, because at the start and end of every day is going to be on you, listeners, watchers, as to what you will decide you will hold as evidence and truth and what you'll let go. I'm going to also say this for some of y'all out there, yo, in other comments, y'all, let me break down why I don't show my face. Some of y'all can do that, but I'm going to say it like this here. An enemy doesn't have a target to hit if you don't give him one. Okay? And I'll stop it right there. So, we thank you again for tuning in. We hope that you've enjoyed yourselves. And in closing, in the immortal words of Bill Cosby, you'll learn something before it's done. And in the spirit on the Hebrew tip of Don Cornelius, I says to you all, Shalom, peace, ahab, love, and napash. For it's all about saving your soul. And we are done and up out of here.
Yeah. Goodbye. It continues on Facebook. And the devil loves to show his face. So if you want to see the devils, go to their channels. They love showing their faces. Butts, titties, and everything else. Good Lord. Anyways.